See Mobile News.
The Indiana Department of Health has confirmed the first case of measles this year. A minor in Allen County who's not vaccinated has the virus. The patient is stable and recovering, but the department is not sharing any other details. The city of Indianapolis is in the process of implementing a new snow removal policy.
The council adopted the new plan. Residential streets will now be plowed when snow reaches 4 inches. The new policy also prioritizes streets near schools and township buildings when snowfall reaches 2 inches. It comes after Marion County citizens and residents complained when many streets were left unplowed after multiple inches of snow back in January.
That's Wish TV's Phil Sanchez reporting. State entities and politicians shouldn't need taxpayer-funded luxury cars. That's the sentiment from a legislator who's working toward making that happen. Here's John Herrick.
Some office holders and state educational institutions have been exempt from some of those vehicle purchasing requirements. But Democrat State Representative Mitch Gore says his bill, which is now at Governor Braun's desk, changes all of that.
So really, that's what the bill does. It rolls all of those people into the definition of government entity. And then it says you got to get, standard model and you can't buy a luxury vehicle.
He told WIBC's Kendall Casey on Monday that Secretary of State Diego Morales and Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith's recent purchases of large SUVs are a slap in the face to the taxpayer. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
The Indiana Pacers are back home tonight against the Washington Wizards, needing a win and a loss by the Milwaukee Bucks to the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight to clinch home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Now with traffic, here's Matt Bear.
Crash east side, eastbound 70 at Arlington Avenue. Right lane closed, no delay. A little bit of a slowdown as you move through. Inbound 69 to 465, stall on the exit ramp. The ramp is open. We have stop and go traffic on inbound 69 from 106 down to 82nd. Southeastern Avenue still closed between Sherman and English Avenue. Just talked to the city, and it's going to remain closed to Southeastern Avenue until about noon, lunchtime area, maybe later this afternoon. We'll keep you up to date, keeping an eye on that. Traffic sponsored by Cracker Barrel. Big cravings call for Cracker Barrel's new Big Country Skillets. Choose your entree plus 2 sides and a drink starting at $9.99. New Big Country Skillets now at Cracker Barrel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
It's now open. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg, right in front of Premier Arms on Green Street. You got to see the selection. Newly expanded, the gold, the diamonds, the silver, the gemstones, the local artists, and of course, that watch collection. Guys, you got to trust me on this one right here. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg, 317-456-4010. That's 456-4010. Or find them online at pajewelers.jewelry. That's pajewelers.jewelry.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies throughout the day today, but it is going to be chilly. We'll see highs only around 45. Another cold and clear night tonight with lows dropping to 30. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
It's 27 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com. Kendall Casey starts right now.
You're listening to Rob Kendall. When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money. And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC. Do I go?
Go ahead. It's like, if you want to look up unmotivated, there's a picture of Rob and I, banging our head against the wall.
My grandmother used to say during various board and card games, is it my time?
Yes,
do I go?
It's your time.
Okay, so yesterday the Senate Bill 1 was heard, the property tax bill. It was, as we predicted, an unmitigated disaster.
These people admitted they didn't even have the fiscal impact statement, which means they have no idea how it impacts you or the governments or anything. And think about this, Casey. It was a 368-page bill. There's no way they all read it, much less understood it in less than it would have been basically 2 days. They admitted they didn't have the fiscal impact statement.
Yeah.
And 15 Republicans, all the Republicans, voted for that bill yesterday.
Yeah, they did. So the bill advanced to the House floor 15-8 after that committee vote. And it's almost like they were like, let's just get this off of our desk and move on.
No, it's not like almost.
They don't even care.
They don't know. They don't know what's in that bill. The speaker admitted he doesn't know what's in the bill. No, what we do know is it raises taxes.
Yeah, we know that.
And we'll get to that in a second. But I want to start the show by talking about J.D. Prescott, because screw that dude.
Oh, what happened?
Screw that dude. That guy came in here and sat here and talked about how he was committed to property tax reform. That guy came to our rally, had the audacity to speak to 1,000 people in our audience. And then that dude yesterday, and if anybody, because he is one of the people who actually read that bill, knows the bull crap that's in that bill, and he voted for that thing. He's no different than all the rest. He had the gall to come to our rally and look all those people in the eye and talk about how he was committed to fix the property tax system. And he voted for that thing yesterday that raises taxes.
He said that it does need more relief, but he's a yes.
I know there's been a lot of hours going into this, and it's not honestly everything I would like it to be. I'd like to see a lot more property tax relief crossed statewide in this, both for residential, ag, and other taxing brackets as well. But with that, I will vote yes at this time.
Why? Is it because
because when push came to shove, the party and not bucking the system, he was willing to look 1,000 people in the eye and lie to them. You want to know what politics is? It's J.D. Prescott.
Well, I'm wondering if he voted yes on this.
Screw you, JD. Screw you, man. You lied to our audience. You used us. You came in here. You said you wanted property tax reform. We let you speak at that. You looked all those people in the eye, and then you voted for this monstrosity.
Is it because they voted it yes out of committee so they can get it to the floor so he can vote no?
What planet does that make any sense on?
Because he knows it's ridiculous, so let's just get it to the floor so they can vote no.
It was going to pass anyway. What would have been different? It was 14-9.
Yeah, that's true.
No, these guys are all the same. They don't want to buck the system. So they'll huff and they'll puff and they'll come in here. And by the way, that school board bill that he has is excellent, and he deserves a lot of credit for doing that. But that is pathetic that he went in front of our people at that rally and said he was committed to fixing this system, and then he votes for a bill that is nothing more than a giant giveaway to big business. Yes.
To business.
You one thing you can always count on the Indiana Republican Party to do is to screw you to protect their big business buddies. And that's what this bill does. It raises your taxes, and it gives a massive tax break to big businesses, many of whom are already getting massive tax breaks through 10-year property tax abatements.
Yeah, because the assessed value on businesses just does not raise like it does on houses, and eliminating the business personal property tax it's a giveaway now, and it's going to be at the expense of
So what do we do, Casey?
We tell Governor Mike Braun, veto this bill. Veto it. He's got to. He has got to.
But the bigger question is, Casey, what do we do? Everybody's always like, you're so mean to these politicians. Why would they want to work with you? We invited that dude into our house. We said, all right, we'll take a risk.
It's actually the people's house, but yeah.
No.
Oh, you mean here in the studio?
Right. No. This is Mr. Smulligan's house still. Right. Rented by Alfred, right?
Yeah.
And so we
actually rented, to the government, because I'm sure he pays taxes on this building.
Well, right. My point is, we let this guy come in here,
yeah,
and he fed us a line of bull crap because we are saying, okay, we'll take a risk, even though everything to the contrary about how many times we've been screwed by these people. So we try to work with them. We try to get along with them. And the guy who claims to be on our team, who claimed to be passionate enough about it that he spoke at our rally, votes against us. What are we supposed to do? I try to work with these people. They screw me. I am fresh. I about fell out of my chair when I found out he supported that bill yesterday. I thought, okay, the one guy.
Right.
I thought the rest of them, all the rest of them were going to vote for it. And I said, the one guy who will do the right thing is J.D. Prescott. The one guy who will stand up for the people is that dude. Because there's no way he would be able to show his face in pleasant society if he, over and over and over and over again, he will have lied to our audience. So they're all, what am I supposed to do?
I don't understand how they vote on that without even having the fiscal notes on it.
They don't care. They don't care. They hate us. They hate you. They hate me. They hate Kevin. Every person hearing our voice. That is the only logical explanation. And once again, they get the giveaway, the tax benefit, is to the businesses. Mm-hmm. They took a bill that was supposed to be about property taxes for you and your homestead, and now it is a massive giveaway to mega corporations who already are getting massive tax breaks. That's what these people are about all the time. Look at what they're doing with the SMRs, the small modular reactors. Massive giveaway to the public utilities or to the monopoly utilities at your expense, which you will pay for. That's what these people do. Almost all the tax breaks they've given away the last 10 years have been business related. You pay more, business pays less because business writes the check. And I'm not surprised. It's very rare that I will come on here and say I am personally hurt because I know what these people are. And it is 9/14 on, what is today? These days all run together now.
Tuesday, April 8th.
Tuesday, April the 8th. I was so wrong, and I got totally snookered. Hook, line, and sinker. I bought J.D. Prescott's bullcrap. And you know me, Casey. There is no more loyal person as long as the only thing I ask you to do is follow through. I don't have to agree with you on everything. You don't have to vote the way I want you to vote every single time. Do not lie to me. Do not lie to me and do not mislead me. And after the history we have with that dude, we gave him another chance. We gave him another chance, and he came in here over and over and over and over again and told us he was for one thing, and he stood in front of our audience. We gave him that platform because he said, I'm with you, and I'm one of you. And boy, howdy, does that hurt. So, buddy, you know what's coming now, so get ready.
So I want to play some audio of the people who are voting no.
Why don't we take a break? Can we take a break and then come back? Because it is the Democrats who actually voted against this monstrosity.
Yeah, it was. You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
When you wake up,
You understand this is about money. 1,000%. They started this.
when you work,
We are going to make some noise today.
Eliminate property taxes now.
Hanging out with us, it's fun.
Right.
when you drive home,
Is it time to try something new, you think? Because it hasn't worked, and maybe try something new.
traffic when you need it,
Stopped on 465 again.
and updates all the time.
I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go.
Stay in the know wherever you go with 93 WIBC.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a DSNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A DSNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials too. With a Humana DSNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market. Even in winter, we're bringing you the best in farm fresh flavors. Stop in for our fresh salad bar, hot and crispy wing bar, and a cheese selection that is second to none. Got a sweet tooth? Our homemade pies, creamy fudge, and old-fashioned candy will hit the spot. Come see us on US 31 just north of Carmel. We're open every day 9 to 6. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about fresh, local, and delicious. See you soon.
From the moment our eyes met, I knew it was love at first sight. She had such a playful sense of humor. And when I look in that sparkle in her eyes, I just melt. My folks always said to find the girl I can't live without. And my heart says she's the one. So I'm going to Pierce Jewelers in Carmel for that perfect diamond engagement ring. Nothing says I love you more than an engagement ring from Pierce Jewelers. She pierced my heart. Now I'm going to pierce hers. Shop local. Shop smart. Shop Pierce Jewelers.
Harbor Freight knows time is money. So for our Spring Black Friday sale, we're getting straight to the deals. This weekend, you get 35% off jack stands, 56-inch roll cabs under $800, and 2,300 PSI electric pressure washers under $190. See? Straight to the point. So you can get straight to the savings. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. Valid until April 13th, 2025 while supplies last. Limitations apply.
Greetings from our agency, your Indiana Health Insurance Pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for making us national sales leaders once again for 2024. Crazy sign-up periods are at last over. If you were told the ACA and it's still Obamacare was your only option, that's just not true. If you were told since you've signed up already, you must keep your ACA program for a year, that's not true either. If you do not have serious health problems, and God forbid make a living wage, the ACA is your worst option, and it can be canceled at any time. We feature coverages guaranteed age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. Self-employed, early retiree, or ACA victim, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-563-0868 or rragency.org. As always, God bless America. Peace through strength and common sense government.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Okay, two things.
What's that?
Two things. All right, number one, I had an epiphany last night.
Okay.
Okay? This wasn't in a dream like the
Not a fever
property
dream?
tax plan.
A sore throat dream?
In light of,
Yeah.
okay, so yes, I'm a little under the weather. However, it's one of those things where it's like I don't feel sick.
Yeah.
I just sound sick.
Is this your daughter bringing germs
I
home
don't
to you
know.
again?
I'm not going to blame a toddler.
Okay.
I mean, I can blame the toddlers down the street from us.
Right. You mean at the State House?
At the State House, yes.
Right.
Okay, so here's what I think we should do now. And you were right in the last segment that the House, by the way, let me read you from the Capitol Chronicle what the House bill that they passed yesterday actually does. Okay, this is from the Indiana Capitol Chronicle. So the best most people are going to do out of this bill is a $200 property tax reduction. Now, how much of your property tax has gone up the past 4 or 5 years?
900.
900.
Yeah.
So you'll still be 700 in the hole.
Correct.
All right. So you might, maybe, best case scenario, you get $200 back on your property taxes. Quote, Senate Bill 1 would now let counties increase their local income taxes and, for the first time, allow cities to implement their own local income taxes. Under a massive amendment adopted Monday, counties would be able to levy an income tax up to 2.9%, up from the current 2.5% cap, while cities could go up to 1.2%.
Okay.
So you will lose on this deal.
Yeah.
Your taxes are going, because every single one of these cities and counties is going to enact this thing.
Sure.
So what the House of Representatives did yesterday was they voted for a massive, because the businesses don't pay income taxes, right? So no sweat off their backside. So the businesses, their big business buddies, who already get massive tax abatements on their buildings, will now get the end of personal property taxes, which means the stuff in the buildings that they pay property tax on. That's also going away. So you're going to get maybe $200. Your income tax will go up, which will offset for most people. In some cases, it'll be more than the $200. And the big business guys are going to get a massive tax break. That's the bill.
This completely disproportionately benefits business at the homeowner's expense.
That's right. So here's what I think Braun should do. Okay, first of all, you're right. He needs to come out like today and say, I'm sick of this crap.
Yeah.
I'm not signing this bill.
This wasn't the plan.
We're done here. just plan on this being vetoed, and I'll see you all in May. Then what he needs to tell them he's going to do, because we've already set a precedent that no matter what the governor does in terms of executive orders, the General Assembly will not challenge it. The previous governor shut society down and forced you to wear a mask via executive order, and the General Assembly did nothing. So you can't get any more heinous than that. And they've already set the precedent. They will not challenge executive orders. Braun should come out and say, I am going to declare by executive order my property tax bill, and dare the General Assembly, who did nothing as the previous governor put 1 million people out of work by executive order, to try to challenge him after they did nothing with Holcomb.
Right.
That's what Braun should say. Hey, since executive orders are the way to go, baby, and we all love Trump's executive orders, I've got one too. I'm going to veto this, and before you guys can come back in and override it, I'm going to executive order my property tax plan and dare them to do something about it.
Sounds like a good plan. So there were a lot of concerns, one over the lack of the fiscal analysis, obviously the disproportionate benefits to businesses over homeowners' expense.
Time out. We gotta repeat that. They voted on something yesterday without the fiscal analysis, which means the government agencies take a look at what you've proposed, and they will tell you how it's going to impact everybody. Schools, libraries, local police department, not local police department, but cities, towns who control local police departments, fire territories, and you, the consumer, the taxpayer. That is the foundation of any piece of legislation, is what is the fiscal statement. It's true at the state level, and it is true at the local, at the national level. Locals should have something that resembles that. They often don't. But the state and the national, the fiscal statement, the fiscal impact of the bill is the foundation of anything. And they voted on it yesterday.
Without having that.
Without that.
Yeah. So let's get some no votes, people who disagreed with this bill. And we're going to start with not having the fiscal.
Without a fiscal, we are asking this group of decision makers to write a blank check. One size does not fit all, as we saw from discussion.
Now, these are all Democrats we're hearing, by the way, because all the Republicans voted to screw you.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, I have an idea, and we're going to talk to Micah next. I don't know if we'll have time to get into this with him today, but I have an idea.
Okay.
Now, hear me out on this.
Yeah.
Micah would have to sign this bill, right? He's the president of the Senate. If something that resembles this crap, if Braun will not step up, okay, if it comes to Micah's desk, he should burn it live on the internet.
Yeah.
Now, the Supreme Court Chief Justice can force him to sign it. But you want to draw attention to this thing. You want to prove you're for the people. You want to get back in the good graces of the people after this car fiasco. When they hand it to you, you live stream it and you burn this monstrosity.
Okay, so we know that property tax caps for businesses and homes are applied differently, and homeowners' property taxes have risen more quickly. Here's a rep who's saying that this bill is a wash.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As I was listening to, you've put a lot of time in this and, a lot of work, and I appreciate that. I guess my fundamental problem with this bill is that it just is a shift. We can have a headline that say property owners are going to get $1.1 billion relief, which, as we've listened, is about $200 on average for a person. And who's going to pay for my fire and my police and my schools and my library? I'm going to get $200 relief, and then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to get a lit, and I'm going to pay around $200. So to me, it's a wash.
Okay, here's another one before we get to the news. This rep is saying this bill is not ready for prime time.
We are giving you accolades for all the hard work that you've done in regards to this bill. Your 1402 has been around for at least a year or two. You floated it last year. It surfaced again this year. You floated it during the SALT committee hearings. So it's been around, but it still isn't ready. This bill isn't ready for prime time. We have passed legislation before said to keep the bill moving. this bill needs not to go anywhere. It needs to stay put.
So you just heard Thompson has been pushing his 1402 for over a year now. Nobody was biting before, so this time he jammed it down their throats.
Yeah. Anybody who's ever had a neighbor, usually an older person, where they just tinker in their yard, they never accomplish anything, like they just move stuff around, like they just move piles of mulch or... Kev is laughing. You must have one of these neighbors. Everybody has somebody on their block that is this guy, where no matter what they do, they're always out in the yard, but the yard, just nothing ever changes. That is Jeff Thompson.
Yeah.
He's elderly tinker guy who's just moving things to do something each day. And then 12 hours later, you go,
what'd you do?
Harold, what'd you do? He did nothing.
Yeah.
This is him. This is the same guy who in 2022 had the property tax bill. It didn't help anybody. And yet we're putting him back in charge of property taxes once again. Again, it's a thing that's not going to help anybody. Ultimately, your taxes will go up. And look, Braun, I know you've tried to negotiate with these guys, and I know you're a business dude. Cut the crap. Come out and make a statement.
Yeah, veto it.
Put the kibosh on this, and let's roll. And I'm dead serious about this executive order. If they were not going to stop the governor via executive order from shutting down society and trying to put you in jail for not wearing a mask, they're going to stop the governor from helping you afford to live in your home. What a moral high ground Braun would be on with that.
Yeah.
Just executive order it.
Micah Beckwith is going to join us next. We'll hear from the lieutenant governor coming up from 93 WIBC.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale, only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Getting dangerous criminal aliens out of the United States. You have a sunny sky, and it's 28 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today, 44. A freeze warning expires in 28 minutes. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 9:30. You may have heard the Supreme Court temporarily allowed the Trump administration to resume deportation flights of Venezuelan migrants on Monday under the Alien Enemies Act.
These liberal district judges thought that they could control our entire country's policy.
U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi on Fox News.
And this was, again, a landmark ruling for the rule of law.
Opponents of the White House effort say there's no legal basis for invoking the wartime law since gang members are not the same as an invading army. Indiana State Police have charged Arthur Lee Grimes in a 2012 murder of a retired farmer named Lowell Badger in Sullivan County. Grimes is already in prison on an unrelated case, and he faces charges of murder and burglary.
The warrant was served today by the Indiana Department of Corrections. Now we'll just go through the judicial system and let them do their diligent work.
And a probable cause affidavit says Grimes and another person robbed and killed Badger, taking his safe TV and money in his pockets. Television sports personality Stephen A. Smith says he's leaving all doors open in regards to a presidential bid. Smith said in a post on X that his life is great, but he's sick of the mess. And your opening bell report on 93 WIBC brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. All three major indices are up this morning. The Dow is up 1,313 points to 37,965. The S&P up 165 to 50,6225. And the NASDAQ is up 565 at 17,430. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
I basically had a perpetual sinus infection where they would clear, get the meds.
And it didn't do anything.
Medications may not really help. They can be a temporary fix instead of trying to find the real root of a breathing triangle problem. And that's Mom chiming in. And what you're about to hear next was a first for Advent.
So my symptoms were The same. We actually had the same procedure on the same day. It was just a matter of, let's just do this. Why put it off?
An in-office procedure at Advent to get you breathing well is very convenient, and you shouldn't put it off because breathing well changes lives.
I do remember the first deep breath.
Oh, I remember that.
The feeling of whoa, this is great.
Since then, breathing has gotten easier. Sleeping has gotten easier.
I came in over 10 years ago and I couldn't breathe ever, and now I can breathe. That's the best way I can put it.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Men, if you're over 40, if you're struggling with some low energy, if you're not feeling yourself, Low T Center's testosterone replacement therapy is the solution. Get started today. Visit one of the conveniently located clinics, meet a medical provider, and get back to feeling your best. April only, the consultation is free. Treatment tailor-made just for you, and it's covered by most major insurance. LowTCenter.com. Book that appointment right now. LowTCenter.com.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
I'm a proud owner of B-Window.
I'm a proud B-Window owner.
I'm a proud B-Window owner.
When you work with a local, employee-owned home improvement company like B-Window, quality comes first because your home improvements are a reflection of our business. And for a limited time, we're extending our employee discount to you, up to 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust local, trust employee-owned, trust your home to be.
Trust me. Come on, Indy. Don't use the spring to paint your house year after year. Do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. They just didn't leave a mess. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
Backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. And now get the protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Rhino Shield, I think it increases the value and the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield. Baby, you can drive my car. Yes, I'm gonna be a star.
Well, we do it every Tuesday at this time, Casey.
Yeah.
We go to the State House.
Mm-hmm.
We go inside the depths, the bowels of the State House.
The deep, dark places. We're not physically going, are we?
To boldly go where no man or woman has ever wanted to go before. The Lieutenant Governor for the state of Indiana, Micah Beckwith, joins us now. All right, Beckwith, you've been the center of attention the past week, all centering around the car. Yesterday it was the Cybertruck. What is going on with the Cybertruck?
Well, we wanted to show our support to President Trump and Elon Musk and let them know that Hoosiers stand with them and what they're doing. I mean, there was a rally last Saturday with leftists that came out all over the country, and they came to the State House, and they were holding up signs that said Donald Trump's a racist, he's Hitler, Elon Musk is a Nazi, and all this nonsense, complete nonsense. So, we thought it would be a good idea to look into, hey, how can we, as Hoosiers, support the great work they're doing? And so that's what we did.
Okay, so this, I think, to the average person feels that you got into this with Mitch Gore, who we had on, state representative, who we had on the show yesterday. He authored the bill about the price of cars and what sort of cars could be purchased, and you got into it with one of our listeners online, and then you said, I'm going to bring a Cybertruck to the State House, and then you got into it with him. A lot of people are saying it sort of feels like you were attempting to troll people who are upset about the purchase of your SUV rather than your support of Donald Trump. What do you say to them?
No, not at all. This is, Mitch Gore is a complete hypocrite. He's criticizing Elon Musk in one day because they're finding waste, fraud, and abuse to the billions of dollars, and they're saying, "Oh, he shouldn't do this. President Trump needs to stop this. We didn't elect him to do this." And then they come at me and they say, "You spent $15,000 too much, in our opinion, on a car." And listen, I'm all for a bill that says this is what statewide officials can buy. This is the standard. This is the price cap. This is the quality. Whatever you want to do, go for it. That's good. What we were stuck with is we had to go through IDOA. We didn't have a choice.
Who is that? Just pretend our audience has no idea who that is.
The Department of Administration. So this is the agency that oversees sort of the administrative, stuff that goes on. So we were asked early on, say anything you purchase, it needs to go through IDOA. There's a procurement process. We wanted to get thank you notes. This is how nonsense it is. We wanted to get thank you notes. And we said, hey, can we get go to Lowe's or not Lowe's, but go to Hobby Lobby and get some thank you notes. And they said, no, you can't do that. We have a vendor. You got to go through us. There was another example of we needed a drill. This is the most stupid story I've ever heard. We needed a drill for something. And we were like, can we go to Lowe's and buy a drill? No, we'll get one for you. We could have gone to Lowe's and got a $50 drill. They end up spending $250 on a drill because they run it through a procurement process. So we're told that you have to do this is how it works. Then all of a sudden, we'd say, okay, well, we got to have a new car. The old one wasn't working right, and I said, it's not going to make it around the state for us. And so we put it out there. We said, okay, we're called to go through the procurement process. They bring it back. I said, I don't want anything luxury. I don't want anything non-American. I want something big enough to get my team around. Those were my stipulations. And they said, here you go. This is what we got, and that's what it was. If we could have shopped around, and now imagine my surprise when I heard that Diego had gone to a different dealership. I was like, how do you do that? And apparently, I guess you can just buck the system. And now, trust me, we're not going to let that happen again. But all of that is just I'm not even here to talk about that. What I'm saying is the leftists will criticize Musk for what he's doing, saving taxpayer dollars, saving the American financial power for years to come. And they're calling him a Nazi. They're calling him, this all kinds of names. And so for a guy like Mitch Gore to get on there and be like, Mike is wasting taxpayer dollars, it's so hypocritical. He doesn't believe it. He's just taking a political shot. And so we took one back at him, and we trolled him harder than he was trolling. So he's just mad that he got out-trolled.
Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith is joining us. Couple questions for you. What are you driving today?
Well, I guess you're coming down to the State House. You'll see it.
Do you want the Harley to park on Friday?
Listen, maybe we'll do that.
You can't get seven guys in that.
No joke.
Okay, Micah, I want to hop in here real quick, and this is what people are frustrated about.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the House voted for an abomination of a property tax bill.
Sure.
I checked all of your social media as of last night. There was not a peep about it. Now, maybe you posted early this morning about it. I don't know. There has been mass flooding across the state of Indiana. You are in charge of OCRA, Community and Rural Affairs, which is the lifeline to help those people. You are in charge of ag. Farmers are in big trouble. Not a word about that. I don't know what your office did. Maybe you're doing some big thing behind the scenes you're not talking about. But people see the things you're supposed to be in charge of or helping with, and you're not doing those things, and then you're parking a Tesla, a Cybertruck, at the State House because you're tempting, and you're admitting it right here. You're trolling a state rep. So, okay, you win that.
Yeah.
But that is not your job. Your job is to serve the people you're elected.
No, I push back on that because this is how you go to battle with the other side. They're nonsense. They push nonsense. They push crap on this culture all day long. The Mitch Gores of the world think boys can play in women's sports. How did we get there? Because Republicans didn't fight. This is how you fight the battles. I can walk and chew gum at the same time. I was on the phone for hours yesterday with mayors, county councilors. We were finding out what do they need from the flooding. We were finding out what our farmers need. I've got a meeting with Farm Bureau this morning to talk about disaster relief. We are doing a lot of things. Now, we will put more of that out publicly, but right now we want to make sure we get our head around what do they need, what can we say publicly that will actually help. And as far as the property tax plan, we've been very clear, and we will continue to be clear. We will put out social media a press release on this watered-down property tax bill. It's not going to do anything for anyone. We're not happy with it. I'm waiting to hear what the governor has to say about it, but we're not happy with it, and we're gonna make that very clear here in the next weeks as we wind down the session.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, what do you think the governor's going to do about this, and have you guys discussed this at all?
We haven't talked about it yet. Again, he's been focusing on the flooding and the damage. I've been doing the same thing. That's kind of taken our focus right now. But I'm sure we will have a conversation with it in the next few days about it. And I don't think he's happy about it. I think he's trying to figure out how can we get the best amount of relief to the people right now. And, I mean, maybe he has to veto it. Maybe he has to call a special session. And if he does that, I will be 100% behind him if he chooses to do so. You can bet your last dollar on that. But yeah, well, I'll certainly be talking with him later this week on what he thinks and what the strategy going forward is.
Okay, so we only have a couple weeks left in the session before the budgets are decided. What is the focus of your office going to be?
Well, I think property taxes is going to be huge. I mean, things like there's little things like the Senate is holding up an immigration reform bill. The Attorney General Rikita is trying to push that through. We're trying to figure out why are they holding that up. It's a good bill. It's something that will keep illegals kind of off our streets, and we're not sure about that. So we're going to be looking into that. We're looking into Okra and how can Okra help in the relief funding of the flooding. I mean, there's roads that are just gone down in southern Indiana right now. And, I've talked to multiple leaders of communities, and they're saying we need funding. We don't have the money to deal with this. And so that's probably going to take up a lot of our efforts. But certainly the property taxes is pinnacle. I mean, we didn't come into office thinking there was something else we need to focus on. We came into office because people are ticked that their property taxes are through the roof. And I think, honestly, I hate assessed values. The fact that we should just get rid of the taxing of properties based on assessed values. That's the problem. Tax it on the purchase price of the property and be done with it. And then everybody knows what they're going to pay. You're never caught off guard with sticker shock. Get rid of assessed values. If we can't get a good reform through this year, that's what I'm going to be calling for the next 4 years, just removing assessed values. The value is only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. And so whatever someone paid for it, you pay 1% on that purchase price until you sell it. And then the next person buys it, and they pay 1% on whatever they pay for it.
Micah Beckwith is on the line with us, Lieutenant Governor of the state of Indiana. You've been lumped in a lot of news stories lately with the Secretary of State, Diego Morales, and this has to do with both of you choosing higher-end cars. But I wanted to ask you what you think is going on with his trip to India. Have you questioned him at all, or is anybody in the State House looking into that trip and why he chose to do it during the budget session?
Yeah, well, I asked him about it, and he said it was an economic development trip. Same thing he told you guys. I encouraged him. I said, you got to get out in front of this, man. Like, this is it doesn't look good. It doesn't pass the smell test for a lot of people. Now, did he do something illegal? I don't know. I'm not, but that's the legislature's job to look into. And I would call on the legislature if they ever think there's any statewide doing something that's not above reproach. They need to call that person into a committee. They need to call that person into meetings, make sure that they have the oversight, or that they're able to provide the oversight that the legislature is designed to give. And so it's really the legislature's job. And I would encourage the leadership of the legislature, hey, look into this, because all it's creating right now is confusion. And then people make up their own conclusions. Someone needs to get to the bottom of it, and it's the legislature's job. So call them in, like have a hearing, do a meeting with them, and have a press conference. Say, we talked with them. Here's what happened. This is what really went down. It didn't break the law. Here's why, or it did break the law, and here's why, and here are the next steps forward. So, but Secretary Morales has to get out there, and he's a separately elected executive. He needs to get out there and defend what he's doing to Hoosiers. And if Hoosiers don't like it, they've got an election coming up in 2 years, and they can deal with it there.
Hey, saw your bracket went down in flames in Lopez's pool because you picked Duke.
Listen, man, you want to talk about just the most frustrating day of my life. It's like, I thought, 2 minutes to go, I'm like, all right, we're good. And then 3 minutes later, I'm like, what just happened?
How embarrassing. You lost to both Sue Finkham and Jensen. The two of the worst mayors in the state, and you lost in the pool. Yeah.
I know.
Well,
can't win them all.
You lost your bracket because of Duke. I won my bet with Hammer, in part because of Houston. Yeah,
that loss.
All right, thanks, Micah.
All right, thanks, guys. Keep up the good work. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks. It is Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. Jeff Boggs, not Kenny Rogers, will join us, and a lot of laughs. 93 WIBC.
Spring is here, and it's time to shake off winter's dust, dirt, and allergens. Hi, this is Denny Smith for Zero Res, and if you're ready for a true spring clean, listen up, because this deal won't last. Right now, get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $119 and $75 off air duct cleaning. That's real savings and the perfect way to refresh your home. Winter leaves behind grime and odors and allergens trapped in your carpets and air ducts. And remember, your air ducts are the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, so is your air. Zero Res's patented ZR water cleans with no soap, no residue, and no harsh chemicals. Just fresh, healthy carpets and air. Beat the spring cleaning rush. Call 317-388-5141 or book online at zeroresindy.com. And don't take my word for it. Just check out 4,900 5-star Google reviews. Call now. Mention WIBC, get 3 rooms cleaned starting at just $119 plus $75 off air duct cleaning. 317-388-5141 or zeroresindy.com.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight and you can't even throw in internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen Report.
Quality Supply and Tool, your premier supplier of construction equipment, tools, and supplies, is looking for CDL drivers to serve out of our Indianapolis location. We're currently accepting applications for both CDL-A and CDL-B drivers. We offer competitive pay to qualified applicants. Work for an established and growing family-owned Indiana company? Please contact Brian Myers for more information at 317-690-2016. That's Brian Myers at Quality Supply and Tool, 317-690-2016.
This Easter, come join us at Life Church as we celebrate the unstoppable power of God. The resurrection of Jesus is more than just the greatest story ever told. It's the greatest miracle ever experienced, and it's for all of us. You're going to feel right at home with our friendly community, our passionate worship, and a life-changing message. Our kids ministry will make it a special day for your kiddos too. So discover the life-changing power of Jesus this Easter Sunday. Visit lifechurchin.com for service times and locations.
Do you need air conditioning service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like Reinhardt Heating and Cooling? Find that American Standard air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI? Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Listen to Hammer and Nigel this week for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see The Temptations and the Four Tops, April 13th at Old National Center.
More info online at WIBC.com.
Working on a night move.
Ever sent a picture of yourself to someone, Casey?
Of course.
Were you wearing pants?
What?
Working on a night move.
Most likely.
Oh, okay.
Or a skirt or a dress.
Well,
sure.
some high-profile person is in trouble, right? Because they sent a picture without the pants on.
Yeah, he's the former assistant general manager of the Detroit Tigers. He resigned on Thursday amid allegations that he sent unsolicited, explicit photos of himself to two former female.
This is in the Ballular
coworkers.
area.
Yes.
Okay, so why do guys do this?
Well, that's my question. And is he dealing with volume here? Is he like, if I send this to 100 chicks, one of them might be interested?
Wait. He sent it to more than one chick?
No, he sent it to like 3, and they
that
ended
he
up,
works with?
Yeah, and they talked. He did it over Snapchat. They all kind of shared their stories with one another and realized what was going on.
Wait. I missed this. Wait, so I thought it was he was just sending it to randos, and people were like, hey, that guy's high-ranking exec with the Tigers. He's out of here. You're telling me he was sending, what's this guy's title?
He's the former assistant general manager.
And he was sending unit pics to people he works with?
Yeah. There were 3 women, and they all got together and they discussed kind of like, are we dating the same guy? Although they weren't dating. They were unsolicited pictures, and they shared their stories and realized, oh, you had that happen to you too, huh? And so...
no, wait. I must have missed something. There's no way the assistant general manager of a professional baseball team was sending this to employees.
Yes, that's the story. The Tigers, the Detroit Tigers, they conducted this investigation once they became aware of the allegations. And the guy, the assistant general manager, he resigned before they could terminate him. But listen to his response. He claimed he was seeking a career change and wanted to move back to New York to address family issues.
Okay, so to all the guys out there, because I've had this conversation with many, many women over the years, and they've all universally said the same thing. They don't want those pictures.
They don't want that.
Men want them of women. Men want the corresponding pictures of women.
If I send you mine, will you send me yours?
Women do not want those pictures of you. It's like for women, it's like Christmas morning for them. They're going to open the package and find out what's in there, and then they're going to deal with it accordingly. Like some gifts are better than others. Sometimes you get a gift that you think is going to be great, and it's a disappointment, and you've got to fake happiness so grandma doesn't know that you don't like the gift, and they'll deal with it accordingly. They don't want the picture, just like you don't want to know what's in the box on Christmas. That's part of the fun.
What's in the box?
I've had this conversation with many women, and they have all said the exact same thing. And so if you are a dude who is doing this, it's not doing anything for you. It can only hurt you. It cannot help you.
But think of the narcissism this guy must have. He's like, oh, here's my junk. It's so good. You want to see it, don't you? And the ladies are like, no, I don't.
And they're employees.
Yeah.
They're coworkers.
He did it over Snapchat. And it's, it always reminds me of that Seinfeld episode. The female body it's a work of art.
Kev, you're on that.
Female body, it's utilitarian. It's like a Jeep. It's for getting around.
You're on the applications. Has anyone ever asked you for the junk photos?
No, I don't think so.
See? Exactly. No women ever, unless they want to just hold something over you and laugh at you or like send me a pic. Women are not that way.
These were allegedly unsolicited. They didn't want them at all. But they got them.
That's okay. Speaking of junk, are we going to talk about Diego when we come back?
Maybe just a little bit.
See how I did that? Speaking of junk.
Nice segue. You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Your future holds so much potential. The question is, are you planting the right seeds today to make it flourish? At Howard Bailey Financial, we strive to help you create a retirement plan that can adapt to your evolving needs, offering guidance to bring you clarity, confidence, and purpose along the way. Whether you're just beginning or refining your financial strategy, we're here to support you. Let's grow something lasting together. Text GROW to 888-262-1104 to start planning for your future full of possibility. That's GROW to 888-262-1104. Take the first step today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity.
So, influencer life going well?
Oh, yeah. I'm up to 32 followers.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah, posting my tap dancing videos is easier than ever because we engineered Xfinity Internet with 99.99% network reliability.
Plus, Xfinity Mobile with Wi-Fi Power Boost gives you ultra-fast Wi-Fi at home and on the go. But wait, tap dancing? You don't tap dance.
Hey, what I lack in skill, I make up with passion.
Do more of what you love and love how fast you do it with Xfinity Internet and mobile. Now through April 17th, get 300 megabit Xfinity Internet and one unlimited mobile line together for $30 a month for 1 year and save $1,000 in your first year over Verizon and AT&T. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Savings compared to Verizon 5G Internet plus one unlimited welcome line and AT&T Internet 300 plus one unlimited starter SL line. Xfinity Internet required. Actual speeds vary. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabits of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual savings vary.
Indiana patients rely on many types of pharmacies
pharmacies to access their medications and critical healthcare services. But a proposal being considered in the Indiana legislature called SB 140 would disrupt access to medications for Indiana patients. SB 140 would impose government mandates blocking access to critical pharmacy options and services in Indiana. Lost access to pharmacy options would directly harm many of Indiana's most vulnerable patients, including patients fighting cancer and heart disease, many of whom rely on specialty pharmacies for their care. SB 140 would even hike costs for Indiana patients by imposing a $10 tax on every prescription filled in the state. That would often fall directly on the patient. Tell your state legislator, protect access to medications, reject higher costs. Put Indiana patients first by voting no on SB 140, paid for by conservatives for lower healthcare costs.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, when you might be seeing rain again in Indiana, how measles is affecting the Hoosier State and what the Department of Health says you should know, and what kind of property tax relief you might really be getting. Those stories and more coming up after Fox News on 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, and it's now 10 o'clock.
Money is being made on Wall Street. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. After 3 days of big losses, a rebound. The Dow is up more than 1,300 points after plunging over 4,000 on worries about new U.S. tariffs on most imports. Now, some countries are reciprocating, but top White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett just told Fox many countries want to make tariff deals.
Right now, we're managing a massive number of requests for negotiations. It's actually logistically quite challenging just to go through them. It's something that I've been spending a lot of the time this morning doing.
President Trump posted on Truth Social a short time ago he had a good call with South Korea's acting president working on what he calls a potentially great deal. He also wrote China wants to make a deal, but they don't know how to get it started, as he threatens an additional 50% tariff on Chinese goods if they don't cancel retaliatory tariffs on American exports.
China will fight to the end, according to the country's Commerce Ministry, warning that if the U.S. imposes even more tariffs on Chinese goods, Beijing has countermeasures up its sleeve. It's also described as groundless, President Trump's claim that his tariffs are reciprocal.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Congress is monitoring all this closely, and this hour,
Jamison Greer will appear before the Senate Finance Committee amid economic uncertainty related to President Trump's tariffs. One of the senators set to grill the president's U.S. trade representative is Iowa's Chuck Grassley, one of the Republicans who signed on to legislation to require tariffs be approved by Congress.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. The Trump administration celebrating a Supreme Court ruling lifting a judge's order that had blocked more deportation flights under the Alien Enemies Act. That judge, James Boasberg, has just canceled a hearing as the Justice Department urges him to dismiss the case altogether. Attorney General Pam Bondi tells Fox,
"These are enemies of our state, of our country, and they should be deported."
Those being removed will be allowed a legal challenge. A disaster in the Dominican Republic. A roof collapsed at a nightclub. At least 18 people killed as crews still look for possible victims trapped under the rubble. Another 100 injured. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
It's cold today, but what about what comes next? Some places in the state are under a freeze warning, others a flood warning. Radar is clear, and it's 32 in downtown Indy. I'm John Herrick. This report is brought to you by Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 10:02. The state of Indiana not done seeing rain yet.
Next chance for rain and maybe a
a thunderstorm or two comes on Wednesday, mainly Wednesday afternoon and evening, and then the chance for showers and maybe a storm continues on into Thursday and Thursday afternoon.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says flooding is still a problem in many parts of the state. The first infection of measles in Indiana for 2025 has been reported by the Indiana Department of Health. The department says it's an unvaccinated minor in Allen County. You are encouraged to get 2 doses of the MMR vaccine to have the best protection from measles. You may be wondering where that property tax relief bill is. It was passed out of the House Ways and Means Committee Monday morning with roughly 25 amendments attached, and some of that has upset Democratic representatives.
Property taxes are still going to increase for people, just not by as much. And because of that, I'm voting no.
The bill also only vaguely resembles what Governor Braun envisioned for property tax relief now, with tax credits being used to provide relief for property owners. A wreck near Lebanon is responsible for the death of a 14-year-old boy. Chris Davis reports.
That happened Friday, and Lebanon police are just now releasing info about it. The boy and a 12-year-old girl, neither identified publicly yet, were both thrown out during the wreck, which was on I-65 near Hall Baker Road and Indianapolis Avenue. Investigating officers took the driver, 35-year-old Taylor Camus of Illinois, for a blood draw. The results not yet made public. As far as the cause of the wreck, police have not yet released that part. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Indiana Pacers could get home court advantage in the first round of the NBA playoffs with a win tonight over the Washington Wizards and a loss by Milwaukee. Pacer guard Tyrese Halliburton says there's plenty he can do to improve.
Coaching staff, my teammates been on me to be better down there, and I'm going to have to be better there if we want to win a championship, and I understand that, and so I'm trying to take more pride in and just trying to help us win whatever it takes.
As for playoff tickets for the Pacers, those go on sale tomorrow. I'm Sean Herrick on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 10:04, Kendall and Casey coming back in 1 minute.
It's April, and the changing weather brings an increased risk of rain. With those showers comes the potential for water to find its way into your basement, leading to wet floors, condensation, musty smells, or even mold and rot. If you're seeing any of these signs, now is the time to act before it becomes a bigger issue. Indiana Foundation Service specializes in providing reliable basement waterproofing solutions to keep your home dry throughout the spring and beyond. They'll work closely with you to create a customized plan tailored to your basement's needs. From sealing cracks to improving drainage or installing sump pumps, Indiana Foundation Service has the right solution to protect your home from water damage. Don't wait for the next rainstorm to discover you have a problem. Visit IndianaFoundation.com today for a free no-pressure inspection and quote. Indiana Foundation Service. Trusted local experts with the knowledge and experience to solve your basement waterproofing needs.
Indiana Foundation Service. Reliability from the ground up.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
All right, we got more questions about Diego Morales. And this is ridiculous that it is this hard to get information about what the Secretary of State of the state of Indiana did in his official capacity, supposedly representing us and our state. It's Kendall and Casey Show. I'm Rob. Casey's here.
Yeah.
If you missed yesterday's show, Casey and I walked you through the answers, or in this case, the non-answers, in most cases, that we got from Diego Morales' office in regards to his trip to India. And the biggest question mark, well, there's numerous question marks, but I think the biggest of all that is still out there, and they're deliberately not telling us, is who paid for this trip.
Right. Who paid for it? Who paid for his flight? Who paid for his meals? We were told that the trip was not sponsored, organized, arranged, or paid for by the office or the state.
So let me reset with the question we asked and the answer they gave, okay? Who paid for your living arrangements? Who paid for your flights? Who paid for your meals? That's a very straightforward question. He was acting. They've presented him as acting. He was presented by numerous posts over there as the Secretary of State of Indiana.
Correct.
So I, as a taxpayer, want to know who paid for you to go to India to represent yourself as my Secretary of State. I don't think that's unreasonable. I don't think that's gotcha. I think that's a pretty basic, straightforward question. The answer is the answer. Quote, The trip was not sponsored, organized, arranged, or paid for by the office or the state. The office has no receipts, expense reimbursement requests, or expense documentation related to the trip. Because no agency funds were used and no entities involved with office, business, or regulation were involved. Now, pause, because we know Raju Chintala they admit he was on this trip with him. He went with him.
Yeah, Secretary of State Morales invited him.
Right. Raju Chintala, by their own admission, has a contract with Diego's office. So when they say no entities involved with office, business, or regulation were involved, a guy who you've admitted has a contract with your office, we totaled it up at $80,000, was there, was with him, which he traveled with him. So that goes out the window. Disclosure is not required. Out of respect for the generosity of organizers and sponsors, publicity or disclosure is left to their discretion. They're acting as though he was at the Jerry Lewis telethon. Out of generosity from our what do they call it? Generosity of our organizers and sponsors? No. What about your obligation to the taxpayers of the state who have a right to know, and you're clearly and deliberately not answering the question, which means you don't want people to know who paid for your trip over there? That's what we want to know. And when you're not giving that information, hey, my Uncle Harold paid for it. Okay. Hey, this guy paid for it. Okay. Then we can judge based on that. But the fact that you are deliberately not revealing that information tells us, hey, that could be a red flag, because usually as an official office holder acting in my official capacity, if I'm not giving the public information on everything about that, that's being done for a reason.
So he was over there representing the state of Indiana.
That's correct.
As the Secretary of State.
That's correct.
It was posted many times on social media.
Right.
We saw that picture from the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce.
That's correct.
Pictures of him. And they listed him as Mr. Diego Morales, Secretary of State, Indiana, USA.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So you started looking at that photo, and off of that, you found some interesting information.
Well, I found some other people that he was visiting with, speaking to while he was over there. One was posted on LinkedIn, a guy named Venkat Bora, and it says business expansion in Indiana, USA. Got an opportunity to attend for a meet and greet session with Mr. Diego Morales, Secretary of State, Indiana, USA. Mr. Fabio Alejandro Perez Pereira, CEO of Soja's Capital, which is based here in Indianapolis.
Okay, say that name again.
Mr. Fabio Pereira, CEO of Soja's Capital.
Okay.
Which is a capital investment firm here in Indianapolis.
Uh-huh.
And Mr. Raju Chintala, Senior Advisor to Secretary of State of Indiana, USA.
Okay, pause. So this guy's claiming it's an economic development meeting or based meeting, right, that he's having. Now, what does this guy do? You kind of determined what he does, right?
Who the
poster?
Okay, Mr. Bora.
Yeah,
he is the CEO and founder of Spriple, which is AI tech HR company.
Oh. And we're having that conversation about those companies right now in the state of Indiana. So I want to bring you to the question we asked Diego's office. Did anyone from the executive branch or the General Assembly approve of this trip? Did anyone from the Indiana Economic Development Corporation approve of this trip? Their answer, and this is very important, not applicable. The Secretary of State is a separately elected official, and the office does not need nor seek approval. The trip was not paid for with agency or office funds. The two entities that are in charge of economic development in this state and the ability to cut deals with any related to any sort of money or abatements or any of that stuff with a foreign government or people that are in foreign countries are the governor and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. Diego has no authority, and they said right there, we didn't get the approval and we didn't ask for it. So why would a business guy, because doesn't he say something about he's looking forward to locating relocating in the state of Indiana?
Yeah, he said this exclusive interaction session gave us valuable insights into how the state of Indiana is welcoming business to establish and expand. As an emerging leader in workforce management solutions for small and medium businesses, Spriple is eagerly looking to start its operations in Indiana very soon.
Okay, pause. That's super important. Why wasn't that meeting with Governor Braun or the Indiana Economic Development Corporation? Diego doesn't have any authority to cut an economic development deal as Secretary of State. So why was this guy doing an economic development meeting with a guy in the Secretary of State who has no ability to cut a deal? He can't give him abatements. He can't give him guaranteed money. He can't give him worker credits. He can't do any of that. He's an administrator. Now I want to come back to the guy that you mentioned earlier, which would be a red flag for everybody. So according to that post, Diego, along with Raju, who has a contract with the state of Indiana, and we know Raju, based on his own Facebook post, was in India selling access to these EB-5 visas. Now, we're led to believe, based off that guy's post who you read, who claims his business is going to relocate to Indiana,
starting operations in Indiana,
is somehow also meeting with a venture. What does the guy do? Is it a venture capitalist? Is that what he is?
It is. It's a venture capitalist, and this is the same company that helped plan the master redevelopment of Lafayette Square Mall in Lafayette, Indiana.
What's the company's name? The guy?
The company's name is Sojo's Capital. And the guy's name is, I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, Fabio Pereira.
Okay, so but he is and he's based out of Indianapolis. We looked up the address, right?
Yeah.
So you have this Indian businessman talking about economic development meetings with Diego and Raju, who have no economic development authority whatsoever, and somehow now this venture capital guy, according to that post. We assume they were all at the same meeting together. It doesn't say specifically.
Well, there's pictures of Diego with the guy who's going to be bringing his business to Indiana.
So how does all of this go together? If you were a venture capital guy and you're interested in Indiana economic development opportunities, why are you going with Diego? Why aren't you going to the governor's office? Why aren't you going to the Indiana Economic Development Corporation? Why aren't you traveling with them? Because they have the ability to cut the economic development deals. Why is seemingly, according to that post, I think a reasonable person would assume, the Secretary of State with no economic development authority, who is listed as a senior advisor in this post, who has contracts with your office, and now this venture capitalist. What are these three doing together? We also know Raju was there selling EB-5 visa access. How do why are all these people there together? And what do they have to do with economic development, since none of them have the ability related to the government, it would seem, to cut an economic development deal?
Another thing that I found was that it appears Diego went to the 26th edition IndiaSoft International ICT Exhibition and Conference.
He went where?
To the 26th edition IndiaSoft International ICT Exhibition and Conferences. He's listed anyway, and his name is listed under international buyers, foreign delegates. Now, he was in, I have to do some scrolling up and down here, booth 318 from USA America, Mr. Diego Morales, and under the business interest, they list a description of all the other booths, and his says none at this time.
So they list a whole bunch of their events, right? Like a recap or whatever. Is that would be a good way to describe them?
It's like if you go to, they have booths. If you're at, a big event in different booths. So he was at booth 318.
But there's no recap of this thing, right? Like, didn't you say there were posts about these events? And
okay, now that's different. That's from the
Oh, this is from a different thing.
This is from a different thing. You're talking about the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. They normally list their events, future and past, and the March 26th event that Diego was at, that event is not listed.
There's no record of it.
It's not on their website anymore.
Oh, isn't that interesting? So, as usual, we're doing the work because the General Assembly won't do it. I have no idea why Governor Braun and Todd Rokita and the 150 members of the General Assembly, now there's new information for them. What was this venture capitalist doing on this trip with these guys?
And I also found that Diego met with Luthra and Luthra Law Offices, India.
It sounds like a regular couple of Matlocks.
These were all people that were invited to this exclusive interactive session with Diego Morales, Secretary of State.
All right. So this is the new questions that we have. Maybe we'll send that over to his office and they can tell us with their middle fingers to bounce. I mean, this is like there's so many unanswered questions, and it appears like we're the ones driving.
Be transparent about it.
Right.
What were you doing?
This is just ridiculous that the General Assembly, the governor, will not do anything about this to get these answers. Why are we having to just, all right, we'll keep digging. We'll keep coming up with new questions.
Hey, we've got True Crime Tuesday coming up next.
Yes.
And this is a woman who she investigates the relation between music and violence, songs that inspired infamy.
Yeah, it is interesting how many super infamous, violent people in the history of this country were inspired in some shape, form, or fashion by lyrics.
Yeah, Catherine Ramsland joins us next. It's 93 WIBC.
When you wake up,
you understand this is about money. 1,000%. They started this.
When you work,
we are gonna make some noise today.
Eliminate property taxes now.
Hanging out with us, it's fun.
Right.
When you drive home.
Is it time to try something new, you think? Because it hasn't worked, and maybe try something new.
Traffic when you need it.
Stopped on 465 again. And
updates all the time.
I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go.
Stay in the know wherever you go with 93 WIBC.
Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. MOSS. mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale, only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
I will never forget the day we found out my brother needed a heart transplant. Sure, you hear about people needing an organ sometimes, but it doesn't feel real until you're the one waiting. I tell you, we're just thankful. God answered our prayers. But my brother wouldn't be alive today without that transplant. That's why I signed up to be an organ donor at the BMV, because I want to be the answer to someone else's prayers.
Sign up to be an organ donor. Say yes the next time you're at the BMV.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
Kendall and Casey present True Crime Tuesday on 93 WIBC.
Casey, it's that time.
It is. It's Tuesday, and you know what we do this time on Tuesdays.
It's True Crime Tuesday, and that's where we take a look back at cases that have captivated the imagination. Do something a little different today. We're talking about music that made them do it.
Yeah, music and violence, songs that inspired infamy.
Yeah, this is a very interesting new piece. You just said the name of it, Music and Violence, Songs That Inspired Infamy. Dr. Catherine Ramsland is the person who wrote the piece in Psychology Today. She joins us now on the WIBC hotline. Dr. Ramsland, I'm curious, how did you come up with the idea to say, hey, is there a connection between lyrics and violence?
Oh, I think I've thought about that for a long time. I've written about it before, but I want to be clear. I'm not saying the music causes somebody to become violent. It lands on a vulnerable person, someone who's ready, someone who already has anger issues or has some fantasy of aggression, and the music, the songs, either the lyrics or the beat, the rhythm of the music, inspires them and they adopt it. So it's not that the music causes it, but it is a factor in it.
So there is essentially there's a propensity for violence or to harm others, and the music, for lack of a better term, exacerbates that propensity.
Yes, and also can give them ideas and give them a sense of identity. Or even give them the inspiration to feel dominating of another person.
Now, you had mentioned lyrics, and I think Rob had said lyrics as well. Is it mostly the words, or can an instrumental impact motivation or the beat of the song? Does it have
Depends on the person.
Okay.
Some people just find a certain beat, and it feels right to them, and they adopt it as their theme song. But there are also songs that have specific lyrics. Like you can see this in the Helter Skelter song. Actually, Charles Manson thought the Beatles were speaking to him, whether he thought he had a special vision to see what they really meant. But you don't see it in the actual lyrics of Helter Skelter, any of Manson's ideas about a revolution or any of that. It's not the lyrics. Something about the White Album and the songs on it gave him the idea that the Beatles had a special message, and he would selectively pick through those songs, not just Helter Skelter, it's the other songs as well. He'd selectively pick through it until he found, he could persuade his followers that these were messages to him. But you aren't going to find that in the actual lyrics. But if you look at the Thriller one for the railway killers in England, I mean, there's nothing about Thriller that necessarily is about inspiring somebody to murder, but you have things like the horror that looks you right between the eyes, the beast about to strike, no one's going to save you. There is an element of dominance in that can reinforce somebody wanting to be aggressive towards someone else.
Dr. Catherine Ramsland is our guest. She has a piece in Psychology Today. It's called Music and Violence, Songs That Inspired Infamy. One of the people you reference is the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, and obviously the drawings of him, the eyewitness sketches had I believe at least one of them had the AC/DC baseball cap that he used to wear, and apparently the song Night Prowler was heavily influential on him. There really are a lot of very famous, infamous, I guess is probably the better word, killers in American history whose music had some influence on them.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at the name of the album, Highway to Hell. He already had a sense of Satanism and the feeling that he himself was a spawn of hell, and he loved that sense of, from the Night Prowler song on that album, he loved that sense of stealth and dominance, and that he could enter into people's homes where they were sleeping, that he had a way in. It was almost a supernatural way, and in fact, in a way it was, because people already knew to lock their doors and whatnot, but he still managed to get in and do some of the things he did. So that Night Prowler sense gave him support for what he wanted to do, a sense of identity, a name that he could call himself, and lyrics that urged him on.
We've talked about a few different men. You've given examples of that. I'm curious if you did any research on female subjects who listened to any sort of man-hating lyrics, if the same thing can be said about women?
Well, there was some research showing one study was, and I can't name some women for you because these were anonymous subjects in the research, but they listened to man-hating lyrics and songs and then reported more aggressive feelings. But we do have an instance where a young woman named Jessica, who was part of this gang of guys who murdered a boy that she lured to his death by pretending to be his girlfriend. And she, with them, listened to Helter Skelter over and over and over for several hours before they went out to attack him. And they called this a party beyond redemption. And they stood over the body after he was slaughtered with bricks and rocks. They stood over the body in a group hug, and she was among them.
Dr. Catherine Ramsland is our guest, talking about the role that music has had on violence in our society, and the piece in Psychology Today, Music and Violence, Songs That Inspired Infamy. So it almost sounds like, I mean, you're saying very clearly, right, like that these people have a propensity to violence anyway. The music didn't make them do it. It just may have nudged them in a direction or inspired them on a way to do it or how to do it or whatever. Is there anything to be done about this? I mean, clearly you've stated, like with the Thriller, there's nothing in there that says to do what the person did. Is there anything we can take away from this? Is there anything we should be doing or looking at the music industry that they should be doing?
Well, we don't regulate that. I mean, we have, freedom to express ourselves up to a certain point. And since you can't really pick through music to say this directly caused that, where you could then do the rock group or the songwriter, we don't have any way to do that. So I don't know how you would put safeguards in aside from, the parental labels, the parents listening to what their children are listening to. But many of these are grown-ups, and we don't regulate what they can listen to and how we can't anticipate how that's going to affect them.
What certain personality types do you think are more susceptible to being influenced negatively by music?
People who feel entitled, who want to dominate others, who have a fantasy life for doing that, like we saw with the Moors murderers. Ian Brady had this fantasy life of raping and murdering children, and he did that to songs for each victim. He picked a song as a theme song. And that became, so whenever they heard that song on the radio or something, they would immediately remember their deeds, the awful things they did, and feel inspired to do it again. So it's usually somebody with that kind of narcissistic entitlement, who want reinforcement, who want that energy that music can bring. Music has an emotional impact. So it's not just reading something, it's actually listening and feeling the impact of the beat and the instruments. But it's about somebody wanting to feel something intense and dominating and aggressive, and they will find a piece of music, either through the lyrics or something else about it, that will make them feel as if they can do this and maybe are even entitled to do this.
Dr. Catherine Ramsland, the piece in Psychology Today, a fascinating one, which you can read now, Music and Violence, Songs That Inspired Infamy. Thanks for taking a few moments to talk with us about how music has influenced some really infamous people in our society.
Yeah, and it'll continue to do so, unfortunately.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. It is True Crime Tuesday with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What's likely headed your way in the coming days? You've got a sunny sky, and it's 32 degrees in downtown Indy. Today's high, 44. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 10:31. Things might get bumpy weather-wise in Indiana starting tomorrow.
A thunderstorm or two comes on Wednesday, and then the chance for showers and maybe a storm continues on into Thursday and Thursday afternoon.
But Cody Moore with the National Weather Service says it should not be anything like what we experienced last week. The Trump administration is canceled millions of dollars in international grants administered by Department of Labor Division that was aimed at combating child and slave labor worldwide. The Bureau of International Labor Affairs says this cancellation of these grants has led to the closure of programs that were supposed to improve working conditions and ensure compliance with labor standards in various countries. The Division I men's college basketball national champions are the Florida Gators. They beat the Houston Cougars Monday night, 65-63. Florida Gator guard Walter Clayton says he's got a great group of teammates.
This is an exclamation mark on the year, and it's just great to win like that, knowing the fact that we just a brotherhood together, and we've just been picking each other up all year.
It's the third championship for Florida all time. Houston's been the runner-up 3 times now in their program history. I'm John Herrick on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The lead is back to 12. Now McConnell steals the inbound, count it, and put Neesmith on the line with a chance for a 3-point play. Do they not, New York Knicks? Have cable TV where you live. This is what TJ McConnell does.
The action is heating up as your Pacers prepare for the NBA playoffs. The Pacers are down to their last 3 regular season home games when they host the Washington Wizards Tuesday at 7. Get your tickets at Pacers.com. Pacers Wizards, Tuesday at 7.
Enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text ENERGY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text ENRGY to 42424. That's ENERGY to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What if I told you you could look as beautiful as me? Oh, boy, settle down, Casey. Settle down. I do. You have an opportunity by calling my friends at We Grow Hair Indy. So here's how this works. About 4.5 years ago, I made the choice to get my confidence back and head over to We Grow Hair Indy. And what I did is call 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Scheduled a totally free, no hassle, no obligation consultation. Went in, saw Darren and the gang. They're awesome. They took a look at the top of my head and they said, "You poor, poor fella." And then they gave me some solutions on how to make it better. I chose one that worked for me, and now look at me today. I'm beautiful. I'm amazing. As one guy once said, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. And you could be like me with the trip to We Grow Hair Indy. Call today. Free consultation. No hassle. No obligation. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Or check them out on the web. See how other people have gotten their confidence back. WeGrowHairIndy.com. WeGrowHairIndy.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Harbor Freight knows time is money. So for our Spring Black Friday sale, we're getting straight to the deals. This weekend, you get 35% off jack stands, 56-inch roll cabs under $800, and 2,300 PSI electric pressure washers under $190. See? Straight to the point. So you can get straight to the savings. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. Valid until April 13th, 2025 while supplies last. Limitations apply.
The Builders Association of Greater Indianapolis's Parade of Homes is coming up April 25th through the 27th and May 2nd through the 4th, featuring Indy's top builders. Custom home builder Joyner Homes will have both of their Greenfield model homes featured on the tour, giving you the opportunity to meet their new home specialist, find out about floor plans, pricing, and available lots. JoynerHomes.com for more info and reserve your ticket to receive a free all-access pass for the Parade of Homes at BAGI.com.
I'm a proud owner of B Window.
I'm a proud B Window owner.
I'm a proud B Window owner.
When you work with a local, employee-owned home improvement company like B Window, quality comes first because your home improvements are a reflection of our business. And for a limited time, we're extending our employee discount to you, up to 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust local, trust employee-owned, trust your home to be.
Trust me.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. It's time to hear from you. Kendall and Casey present voicemails.
The phone number, if you'd like to get involved, 317-684-8444 with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Did you forget we're doing a radio show?
No. I mean, somebody sent me a old video of the introduction to one of the Masters, and I just got very entranced in watching.
You're not in Masters mode yet.
No, it's fine. I'm sure the voicemails are fabulous, and I'm ready, right? I'm here. I'm upright.
So Rob was sitting back in his chair, his feet up. He's watching a video, and I said, "Hey, this is us. We're working here." Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So here we go with some voicemails. And yesterday, Indiana's House Republicans' new property tax plan advanced to the House floor after a 15-8 committee vote.
Our once friend, now foe, J.D. Prescott, lied to all of us and screwed us and voted for it. Can you believe that? Can you believe the audacity of that guy? It's one thing to lie to us. We get lied to all the time. But to know you're on public radio and to deceive everyone and then to go to that rally? To go to that rally and look at 1,000 people, look right at him and go, "Hey, I'm with you," and then vote for this thing? Get out of here.
He did say that the bill needs more relief.
So I'm going to vote for it.
And then turned around and voted yes. So we did get some phone calls about it, and here's the first one.
I'm sorry, Rob, but I'm irritated. I got to say something else. There's obviously more income taxpayers, than there are property owners. So what they did is they try to make it look like they actually did something by saving the property owners money when they're going to be bringing in more money with what they did with the income tax. They didn't save nobody money. They just costed everybody more money by doing this and to make it look like they saved people money on these property taxes. No, it just was rerouted so they can bring more revenue in. If you raise the income taxes, obviously, like I said, there's more taxpayers than there are property owners. They're going to be bringing more in. They costed everybody more money. I don't get it. Please explain to me if I'm wrong.
So think about the hypocrisy of this. So they've already had this bill that if the state grows, by the state, I mean the tax revenue grows a certain amount, they'll give you a fraction of a percent of an income tax cut. So that's the bill, right? You only get the income tax reduction at the state level if the state grows by a certain amount. Then they turn around in this bill and give the local governments the ability to raise your income taxes more than they're cutting your income taxes. These are the people who represent you.
Yeah. It's a shell game.
A property tax relief bill, which was originally a simplistic bill targeted at homeowners. Now the biggest tax cut is for big business. And, oh, by the way, your property tax cut, if you get one, is going to be offset by an income tax increase.
Correct. Which could be even greater.
That's the Indiana Republican Party.
Than what the property tax relief is going to be.
That's right.
Yeah. We talked about school superintendents and how they have cars, right?
That's right, because, and rightfully so, everyone should totally pick on Diego and Micah for spending that amount of money on a car. But my point is, if you're going to go at those guys, which you should, then let's talk about these superintendents who, as part of their pay package, are rolling around in these jumbo SUVs. And they, unlike Micah, they don't even got 4 or 5 fat friends to roll around with them. They're just doing it on their own, right? I said, if we're going to go after, and Mitch Gore said yesterday we should. He thinks next year there'll be legislation. Absolutely, utterly ridiculous the amount of money that these school corporations spend on cars.
Here's a call about that.
Hey, Rob, you're exactly right about these school systems and superintendents getting vehicles on the taxpayer dime. IPS alone is facing reorganization, and they lease vehicles from Enterprise every 3 years turn-in, and they're doing anything from Chevy Silverados for their IT department to Explorers and Equinoxes for their transportation directors. So anybody in an admin role or anybody for a principal or an assistant at all of the schools get a vehicle, and they're anywhere from $30,000 to $60,000 a piece, and they trade them in with a contract deal through Enterprise plus all the maintenance. And then it's a $75,000 a year job for one person to set and coordinate all of that. So all of the IPS money that they're crying out for is being wasted on vehicles that they don't need, and most of them don't go anywhere. They're about $15,000 to $25,000 when they turn them back in.
Do you get a car for your job?
I rarely have a car, period.
You're responsible for your own vehicle.
I'm hanging on by a thread.
Mm-hmm.
But this is...
I'm surprised. Like, I didn't know that.
What, you know the superintendent's got the cars?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I'm wondering how many people
well,
knew that.
And at least with Micah and Diego, now the expense is ridiculous, but at least you can theoretically say, I drive the entire state as a statewide elected official. Your superintendent drives across the road, right? Like if your superintendent is not living in the community, they're represent. What are you doing? I mean, almost all of these superintendents live in the community that they represent. Where do they drive? Downtown for some conference every so often?
Yeah.
Like, what do they need a taxpayer-funded car for?
Right. They're driving across town. They're probably not putting a lot of miles on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what they're doing is they're using that car for personal use because it's part of their pay package.
Well, sure. On top of their big fat salary.
That's correct.
Yeah. Another phone call. This one, I believe, is some advice on what Governor Braun should do with the bill that they passed yesterday in committee.
Morning, Kendall and Casey. Well, thank you very much, Indiana State Legislature, for watering down HSB 1 and completely ruining it. Now is the time for the governor to come forward and denounce what they did and give them hell, Harry. Oh, excuse me, it's Mike.
Yeah, he needs to come out and say something. He needs to make a decision. He needs to be definitive about it and let him know that. I mean, this is what he ran on.
Yeah,
Rob.
where is Braun? I mean, he knows what the bill looks like. Like, we gave him the grace period to let these guys screw it up in the committee. And where are you? Now is the time, right? Oh, by the way, Braun's people got upset with me yesterday because they said they spent $118,000 on his property for the helipad. They wanted me to let everybody know a few things.
Yeah.
Like, fine, whatever. Here's the breakdown of the expenses, okay?
Oh, okay.
I guess the actual helipad portion is like $4,000.
Okay.
Okay. But they did spend like $118,000. That is not an incorrect statement.
It's total.
But like they wanted me to make sure everybody knew the breakdown of the expenses, okay?
Yeah.
Because this is what everybody focuses on.
Hey, you know what?
Fine.
Let's be transparent.
Sure, right.
We got an itemized list?
Right.
Okay.
$14,371 for electric costs for wiring the gates and trailer. $50,153 for gates, operating equipment for gates, $49,901 for trailer, and stone pad for the trailer. So, there. Did we get it proper?
So it's not actually all for the helipad.
Which I don't think we
It's for security around the whole place.
But that way everybody knows. Okay, now that we've been completely transparent about the property, and I think if you add those numbers up, you're getting pretty close to $118K, which is the number we gave.
Yeah.
Can we now get focused on the property taxes?
Don't you exaggerate about a helipad, Rob Kendall. Come on.
This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing at this point. That's what you're focused on.
Okay,
You spent $118,000 for your house.
One more phone call about the property tax plan.
You know, what these people in the State House are doing with this property tax bill is nothing short of criminal. We asked for property tax relief, and instead of giving us that, they turn around and give us a tax increase that is going to far surpass any kind of property tax relief. They say $200 per household, but yet if you make $100,000 a year and you allow the county to up their taxes and you allow the city to institute a tax, on $100,000 a year, you're looking, what, $1,900 a year in taxes? And then if you got a two-income family, you're looking, what, $3,800 a year in tax increase, which far surpasses the property tax increases. Not to mention income tax, everybody's going to pay the income tax. Renters, everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Live in your car and get a job, you're going to pay the income tax. So they're going to rake in money hand over fist. This is nothing but another money grab for the overtaxed Indiana.
And bingo was his name. Oh, he hit the nail on the head. That's what this is about.
Everybody.
Because the renters, everybody but the big business people, that's who's getting the tax cut.
Yeah.
The big business people.
Hammer's going to join us next with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. Jeff Boggs, not Kenny Rogers, will join us, and a lot of laughs. 93 WIBC.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping us to another record year. We recently saved a 62-year-old retiring couple over $800 monthly when compared to their COBRA offerings. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 monthly when compared to their $7,500 deductible program on the ACA, and you know that's still Obamacare. We recently saved a small 4-man manufacturing company over $1,000 monthly and gave them better coverage. We feature coverages guaranteed to age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. If you are retiring early, self-employed, or need coverage for your small group, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. What do you got to lose? Call us, 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. As always, God bless America, common sense government, and peace too strict.
Kevin is currently putting headphones up to his ears, and so he won't be able to hear me tell him that he needs to go to Universal Windows Direct right now for their spring home improvement event. Boy, what a deal going on right now. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. You're smart people. You know how to do math. Need 4, you pay for 2. Need 12, you pay for 6. Oh, on top of that, Universal Windows Direct right now. No interest until 2030. We might not even be here in 2030, which means you might not even have to ever pay interest. Who knows? Oh, and the third part of this, get a $500 bonus off your entire home improvement project. So let's review. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No interest until 2030, and $500 bonus off your entire home improvement project. Now, some restrictions may apply. So to get all the details, schedule a totally free and home estimate. Call Universal Windows Direct today. 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. See it all for yourself on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com. There's so many letters and words in bold, I could never get to all of them. Find it for yourself, universalwindowsdirect.com.
For over 20 years, Howard Bailey Financial has been helping families just like yours gain clarity, confidence, and purpose with personal and practical financial strategies. And now, we're offering our full suite of services on Rangeline Road, right in the heart of Carmel, making it even easier to meet with our experienced team face-to-face. Whether you're planning for retirement, navigating life transitions, or just need guidance for your financial future, we're here to walk with you every step of the way. Text CARMEL to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement resource. Howard Bailey Financial, helping you turn hope into a plan and dreams into reality. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Hendricks, our cancer care
is in the details.
When you are with us, and you have our time and you have our energy.
We have a wonderful team of highly trained oncologists, physical therapists, speech pathologists, dietitians.
Always making sure that the patient is the center of the care.
We have excellent nurse navigation that are skilled at identifying barriers to treatment, as well as expertise from Mayo Clinic.
It is more personal care than just a number.
Visit hendricks.org/cancer.
you support them. Who supports you? Matt Bear and Ryan Hetrick provide insight, encouragement, and resources to help you navigate a loved one's recovery on the Supporting Sobriety podcast. Listen and get support wherever you get your podcasts.
One thing I love about Jason Hammer, when he goes somewhere to have an experience, he does it all the way. This guy will do the stuff and then buy the T-shirt to prove it.
I'm a tourist.
Yeah.
I am a total tourist when I go on the road, and today, you can't see it because nobody else in this room is allowed to have a camera other than you two, apparently.
Well.
I got the Buc-ee's T-shirt on.
Yeah, you are. You're wearing the Buc-ee's T-shirt.
And listen, do not sleep on the brisket at Buc-ee's. It is really good. They're making it right there. It's awesome. Hey, I heard your interview with the lieutenant governor earlier. Good stuff. Way to, get him on the defensive, and then he counterpunched back. It was great radio.
Thank you.
Good interview. Here's my problem with the whole $90,000 car thing. I've been told that he needs this big, expansion vehicle because he's got fat friends.
That's what he said. That's what he told Star.
Well, I consider myself a friend of Micah Beckwith.
That's right.
And I'm also fat. So where's my ride? Like, I'm a taxpayer. I help fund this thing.
Right.
I feel like the lieutenant governor needs to pick me up, and we need to go like on a McDonald's run, a bender somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, me and the fat friends need to have an eating contest in the people's car.
Yeah.
Because that's what we should call it, the people's car.
Yeah, I need this because of my fat friends is a bad excuse.
Right. And I'm telling you right now, even though I'm down 50 pounds and I'm lifting, I'm feeling pretty good, I will eat his fat friends under the table.
Oh, I don't know.
Have a nugget challenge.
Right. Right. Like, let's go. I'm on a 50-piece McNugget challenge. Me and Micah's fat friends in the people's car.
I think the thing that is frustrating for me is not the car itself, but he doesn't realize that he's lost any leverage when he goes out and tells people you got to cut your budget. They're going to point at him forevermore and go, hey, tell us about your $87,000 car. And that's such a blow because we need government cuts all across the board. We need it at the local level. We need it at the state level. We certainly need it at the national level. And he had become sort of the voice and the face of this. And when he does that now, they're going to look at him and go, tell us about your car. And I think he did a huge disservice to the cause he claims to care about.
And that's fine, but where's my ride? That's all that I'm saying. Where's my ride? I'm a friend of Micah. I'm fat, so I feel like since I've had a hand in paying for this thing, where's my ride?
Yeah.
I need a night of being chauffeured around. Maybe we'll bar hop in Beech Grove.
Yeah.
We're going to pull it up to the Waffle House, maybe the White Castle, and do it up. I feel like that should be the case. By the way, how's your voice holding up here, Rob? Because I feel like this time next hour, you might sound like RFK Jr.
Here's the problem. I think I drank too much when Casey came over to my house. She kept handing me shots.
Is that it?
And now I'm paying the price. I was like Joe Hawk said, I ain't running for nothing. I'm running from something.
That's right.
By the time Casey left, I was like, the door's somewhere over there.
It's over
Show
there.
yourself.
Don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
I thought this was Rob's tribute to the 7 awful new albums Springsteen's putting out.
Right. He was up all night singing along.
Right. Because he sounds a little Springsteen-like right now. Oh, you guys are in trouble.
Yeah. Here's the thing. If I'd have been Nigel, I'd be off of work for a week. So at least I made it.
Yeah.
That's very
By
true.
the way, Casey and I were talking yesterday. I love how they've presented these new albums as though he just walked into a closet in his house somewhere and was like, oh, man, look at all this stuff.
What's this?
People would love it. Like, this was
You Sick doing Springsteen sounds just like Springsteen, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, I've been listening for 25 years. I got it down at this point.
Because I've heard your regular Springsteen impression, and it's pretty good. But when you're actually sick and you're doing
Nailed it.
like you nailed it.
Yeah.
Like you should record some parody albums right now. Like Hammer and Nigel Records presents Bob Springsteen, Bruce's brother,
Right.
Born to Walk.
Like you need to get in there. Born to Crawl.
What are you doing today on your award-winning program?
So we've got not Kenny Rogers. Jeff Boggs will be in. We'll touch on a number of subjects. And then we'll do a segment where he will just take random calls and take the opposite argument of no matter what they want.
Yeah,
I love
that's
this.
fun.
So, like, whatever the topic is. Now, you could theoretically get, like, the wrong side won World War II.
The only rules are no Hitler, no slavery.
Oh, that's
okay.
pretty good. Yeah, you get in trouble for that.
Got to put those boundaries in place.
Also, the boy, Chris Hammer, will update us on his run for the UND presidency.
How
Nice.
Can we bow harvest for him, or is there something we can do?
I don't know. We'll find out this afternoon.
You're
We're
not
not above it.
You're not passing on as a college-age student anymore.
Hello, fellow youth. Put that baseball hat on backwards again, Rob, just like you did 3 years ago.
Get that puka shell necklace going.
3 o'clock this afternoon.
Thanks, Hammer. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale, only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Hey, guys, it's Rob from my friends and family at Life. No, Hammer, I'm not saying that on the air. You can count it. No, never. He's such a horrible influence. He needs to go to Life Church. That's the problem. Yeah. If you're feeling like Hammer and you say, I need the Lord in my life, go to Life Church. It's a place we call home. And one of the things we love about Life Church is the sense of community. And if you'd like to be more than just a number, if you'd like to be an individual, Life Church is the place for you. It's Easter season. Give it a shot. You got nothing to lose, everything to gain. Campuses all across central Indiana, Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton. Also, online services. I'm going to work on Hammer for the Easter Sunday service. LifeChurchIN.com.
Get your new garage floor with Comer & Cross. Tony Katz here. And if your garage floor looks lousy, it's got cracks or stains, or if it has a bad epoxy job, or if your patio looks lousy as well, today is the day to call Comer & Cross for your quick and easy estimate at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. We're talking about a Midwest company now here in Indianapolis. And when you have a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor, it's like pulling into a new car showroom every night. These guys are the gold standard. Comer & Cross. It's guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint. And the secret is the process. And their process means you're going to have a quality floor that lasts for years to come. They fix all your cracks and pits perfectly and apply your custom floor in 6 stages. And they're all certified employee pros. No freelancers at Comer & Cross. For your quick and easy Comer & Cross estimate on a new garage floor, patio, or basement this spring, call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. 1-800-NEW-FLOOR or go to ComerCross.com. C-O-M-E-R. ComerCross.com.
I came in over 10 years ago and I couldn't breathe.
New floor. 1-800-NEW-FLOOR or go to ComerCross.com. C-O-M-E-R. ComerCross.com.
I came in over 10 years ago and I couldn't breathe ever. And ever since.
The Trump tariff push getting pushed back. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
This is a call to action, and Congress must step in to rein this president on trade.
Democratic Senator Ron Wyden just proposed a resolution he says has some Republican support.
To end the latest crop of global tariffs that are clobbering American families and small businesses.
That's at a hearing where the U.S. Trade Representative just told senators.
The United States has lost 5 million manufacturing jobs and 90,000 factories since 1994.
Jameson Greer says a lot of that went overseas as he defends the Trump tariffs.
These measures are aimed squarely at achieving reciprocity and reducing our massive trade deficit to reshore production in the United States.
Oh, those tariffs are leading to a lot of negotiations.
President Trump says he spoke with South Korea's acting president, and a team of negotiators are heading to the U.S. to make a great deal for both countries. Administration officials say dozens of countries are reaching out for talks, and the White House is prioritizing allies and trading partners. China is not among those countries, instead vowing to fight to the end after President Trump threatened an additional 50% tariff rate.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. And on Wall Street, there is a rebound. The Dow is up 1,000 points, getting back some of the 4,000-plus point plunge the past 3 trading days on worries about those tariffs hurting the worldwide economy. The Trump administration is urging the judge who had blocked further deportation flights under the Alien Enemies Act to drop the case altogether now that the Supreme Court has lifted the order allowing the flights again.
You may remember the images last month of men being taken from the United States, heads shaved and thrown into a mega prison in El Salvador. Well, the men are from Venezuela. The White House insists they are members of foreign gangs.
Fox's David Spun. Chief Justice Roberts also ordered a pause before a deadline last night set by a judge for the U.S. to bring back one of the men on those flights mistakenly deported. The Trump administration insists he's a gang member, and the judge has no jurisdiction ordering El Salvador to return him. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What caused all of that rain?
Right now, mostly sunny, 33 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 11:02. Heavy rain led to flooding in Indiana last week, and you might be wondering why.
So basically what happened was we had this extended front just right over the area that kept pushing north and then pushing south, pushing north and south, and then you had these waves of low pressures moving along it, and that's why we just got repeated rounds of heavy rain and storms.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says showers and thunderstorms are possible again both Wednesday and Thursday. Marion County has a new snow removal policy.
Motion carries 25-0.
That from an Indianapolis City County Council meeting Monday night. This updated snow removal ordinance prioritizes plowing streets near schools and township buildings when they get at least 2 inches of snowfall. Residential streets will be plowed when the snow totals reach 4 inches. Measles begins with a fever, cough, runny nose, and red eyes. The Indiana Department of Health says an unvaccinated minor in Allen County is the first person in the state this year to get the measles. This is also the first person to contract measles in Indiana since someone from Lake County had it in 2024. Changes to the property tax bill may have made it fundamentally different from what the governor wanted and what he believes will provide you with relief. Chris Davis reports.
Property tax relief may be coming, just not in the form the governor promised.
Am I right that for 2 years, the next 2 years, we're giving authority to the local government to increase the local income tax by 0.3%, and that money will go to dealing with the reduction in property tax that we're imposing?
Representative Ed Delaney on one of 25 amendments presented over several hours' time in the House Ways and Means Committee Monday morning. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And Pro Football Hall of Fame quarterback Jim Kelly will be the special guest at the 13th annual Chuck Strong Tailgate Gala this Friday night. That is done in honor of former Indianapolis Colts head coach Chuck Pagano, who overcame cancer. It's at the Indiana Farm Bureau Football Center on West 56th Street at 6 o'clock. I'm John Herrick, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. WIBC News Time, 11:04. Kendall and Casey coming back in 1 minute.
Pat Sullivan here for Gutter Helmet. Spring is here. Are you still putting screens on your gutters? You know, if the holes are too big, debris gets in, and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top, and now you're cleaning the screens. I have Gutter Helmet on my home, and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. Right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 17% discount plus 12 months no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Call 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, to schedule a free estimate. 17% off is good through April. Restrictions apply and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET. That's 800-5HELMET, or gutterhelmetindy.com, and never clean your gutters again.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Why?
He wants you to hear the tone of his voice, the inflection.
Why would you do that? Why would you call me while I'm on the air?
Maybe he forgot where you were every day from 9 until noon.
He's been on this show a whole bunch of times.
But you know what? Your schedule is not his first thought.
People know I respond to text messages during the show. I cannot stop between the hours of 9 and noon and be like, let me have a conversation with you.
Maybe he wanted to be on the air.
So, I mean, am I breaking some sort of code of trust? I'm not saying like I can see his message right now, but I'm not saying that. I'm not. Am I all right? Am I okay to do this?
Yeah, you're okay.
JD Prescott is calling me while I'm on the air.
Yeah, and I think maybe he forgot. He's got something.
He forgot. He certainly is calling me because I said something about him on the air. How could he forget?
He has something important to tell you. Oh, he's texting now. Are you guys fighting over text now? So here's the deal. I believe that JD said yes to that property tax plan in committee so that he can vote no once it hits the House floor.
That is the most convoluted government speak ever.
I'm just holding on to hope, Rob. Give me something.
There is no hope.
Would you give me something?
There is no hope. So we started the show today talking about how these Republicans in the House screwed you. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, fine. What I did think was there was going to be one guy, based on the fact that he has spent the past 3 months coming on this show, talking about how he's for meaningful property tax reform. He went to our rally in front of 1,000 people.
He's the guy who says he doesn't want property taxes at all.
And told us he was for meaningful property tax reform. I was like, okay, we're going to get one no vote. I even sent JD some things. I was like, man, you should work this in. Like, when you roast these guys, you should read this to them.
Let's go.
And then it was like I saw the vote. And I thought, wait. Because I started adding up the number of Democrats that were on the committee, and I'm like, that appears to be all Democrats who voted no.
Zoinks.
Did JD suffer some sort of illness? Like, because I knew he was there.
Yeah.
Then, well, maybe he tumbled. Maybe there was a fall. Maybe somebody, he had a Mr. Smith Goes to Washington moment, and one of his colleagues attacked him, and he was unable to vote.
Right.
None of that happened.
No.
He voted for the thing.
He did. And this is why.
I know there's been a lot of hours going into this, and it's not honestly everything I would like it to be. I'd like to see a lot more property tax relief across statewide in this, both for residential, ag, and other taxing brackets as well. But with that, I will vote yes at this time.
Not everything he'd like to see. Not anything anybody'd like to see.
So, I'm trying to be a better person these days.
Are you?
Well,
okay.
Sometimes. So my question to you as the better person of the show, what do I do with this? Like, I gave this guy another chance. The issues we'd had with him. I gave him another chance. I gave him the platform. I believed him when he told me the things. Not just told me the things, he told our listeners the things. And I even let him speak at the rally.
Yeah.
And he did it.
Yeah.
What am I? See, this is why when people are like, Rob doesn't get anywhere because he's mean to these people. I get screwed by the people I'm nice to.
Yeah. Well, you got to hear him out.
I heard him out.
Well, on the phone call.
Why?
To see what he says.
He knew I was pissed yesterday, and he didn't call me.
Well, it took a lot of
and by the way,
gumption for him to call you.
Oh, while I'm working. This is like
when he knows that you can't take the call.
This is like the time Abdul called Micah while he was preaching. It was like I called him and he didn't answer. I tried to get a quote.
He was at church.
And by the way, all these people are equally shameful. Peggy Mayfield, Heaton, all these Thompson, all these people on this committee. But at least they didn't lie to me, right? Like, they didn't make me believe they were going to be better. Like, what? I don't know what to do at this point.
Do you think he's going to try and twist it? No, this is going to save
No.
homeowners money.
He's not going to pull that crap with us.
Well, then, is he calling to apologize?
I don't know, and I don't care anymore. But this is my point. What do I do? What do I do? How do I get through to any of these people? When even the people who are like the last person, like if this were a movie thriller, you would think, who done it? Remember at the end of The Sixth Sense?
Yeah.
Where it turns out Bruce Willis is dead and you're trying to figure out what's going on in the whole movie. It's the last thing you would have thought of that was Bruce Willis was actually dead the whole time.
Yeah.
The last person I would have thought who would have done it in our movie is J.D. Prescott.
Yeah.
And he did it.
He did it. Well, I'm telling you, you need to hear what he has to say. Just, if nothing else, for my own personal
You
entertainment.
should just let him say it on the show. JD, call the show. You know how to get a hold of us. 239-9393.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
see if JD.
put him on the air.
Yeah, we'll put him on the air.
If he calls.
I didn't want to have this conversation directly. Just do it for our thousands of listeners. Like, what do I do at this point? What do we do at this point? What do we do?
We tell Governor Braun to veto this piece of crap.
This guy, I got an email from this guy just a minute ago, and I want to. This Jim is his name, and he closed with, he's tried to read the bill. He said, I have a master's degree and I've been following this, and I don't understand it.
Maybe Jeff Thompson can explain it to him. Okay.
What do I do? What do we do at this point? This is what's maddening to me. I have no idea how to make a difference at this point.
Well, it's been over a year that Thompson has been trying to get this bill, or whatever you want to call it, through, and it's never succeeded. And he finally was like, this is my moment.
I mean, so let's review what the bill does. The bill is a massive giveaway to big business. It eliminates personal property tax for big business. The bill raises income taxes. So your income taxes are going up. And there is, for some people, not even everybody, but some people, you'll get a $200 property tax credit, but your property taxes will keep going up. They didn't read the bill. Now, somebody like JD, that's what would piss me off even more. I actually think he's probably the one person on there who read that bill. And they didn't have a fiscal note with it, so you don't understand any of the impact to the fiscal agents, and you voted for it anyway. The Speaker of the House said, I have no idea what it's going to do to my property taxes. And I'm just sitting here like, at this point, I was right to treat these people like garbage for the past 8 years. And I tried a different approach this year, right? This we said, okay, new governor, new lieutenant governor, we got people like JD singing the good tune. We'll give them a shot.
Yeah.
We'll open them up. We'll open up our hearts and our homes. And we're right back where we always are, getting screwed by these people. And it hurts so much that it's the guy who said, I will fight with you and for you and be one of you. And I don't know. I don't know what to do at this point. I mean, if I were Governor Braun, I would come out and just say, well, since Holcomb shut the state down by executive order and tried to put you in jail for not wearing a mask, and clearly nobody fights back on executive orders, I'm executive ordering my property tax
Did you hear
plan.
the excuse that the rate reset was too hard to implement?
What?
That's what they said.
What do you mean? You just implement it?
It was just, it's too hard to implement.
Your property tax bill was this, now it's this.
Right.
What's the implementation?
They said it was too hard to implement.
These people, I mean, and the idea that they just out of nowhere said, okay, now there's a giveaway to businesses. The businesses are the people who get all the stuff out of this. It's a business property tax cut bill.
Well, and just like our listener said, they're going to make even more because there's more workers than there are property tax
So
holders.
think about what happens now. Now you have some of the populace getting a property tax rate. They still don't know yet, but they voted on it anyway. But let's just pretend that every homeowner did get the $200. It's not going to happen, but let's pretend that happened. Okay, so you're an apartment renter. You live in a condo or whatever. You will get the income tax increase.
Right.
You will get absolutely no property tax relief.
Correct.
Your income taxes are going to go up. The property owner might, if they're lucky, break even. They won't, but maybe they would. But then your property taxes will start going up again. Right?
Well,
that's the bill. And you know who gets everything is the business people.
Consider somebody like Kevin, right?
Yeah.
Who's not a property owner.
That's right.
Kevin
doesn't even own any land.
Right? But who works.
That's right.
So somebody else is taking care of the property tax bill, but he's now going to get dinged for his income.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
This is what they came up with. This is what they came up with. This is how much they hate you. And really, I mean, they don't think about this. All the Democrats voted against it. That's how bad the bill was, that all the Democrats voted against it.
The ones who were crying the most.
There wasn't even one Republican that was like, you know what? Even if I agreed with this bill, now, of course, you didn't read it nor understand it, and there's no way you could have because there was no fiscal note. The whole process, you wouldn't even vote no just on the process. Like, you are so disrespectful to the taxpayers and the way this has been presented and this whole convoluted mess that I'm going to vote no just on principle. There was not 1 out of 15. At this point, I don't know. I don't know what other door to pound on. I don't know.
Mike Braun's door.
Well,
Governor Braun vetoed this bill. Here's a rep saying that there's more work to be done on this.
It's concerning that we're shifting the burden still on our local units of government while trying to give some relief to the homeowners. And with the language in Lake County and other stuff in the amendment, we still have work that needs to be done. And therefore, I'm going to be voting no on Senate Bill 1. I hope that we could find a place that we're able to work with the local units of government while giving homeowners the tax relief that they deserve. We all want what's best for our constituents. We all want what's best for the people that we represent. We want to make sure they have good schools. We want to make sure that the libraries are being funded properly. They have good roads because we all drive in those roads, while at the same time ensuring that our local units of government are having a good budget to take care of our police and fire and keep our community safe. And at the same time, our homeowners are paying their fair share of taxes. So there's sometimes this myth about Democrats and Republicans. I think we all want the same thing for our people. We want to take care of them and improve their quality of life. And so therefore, we still have to have these conversations. And I hope that by the end of session that we're able to come to.
By the end of session.
I don't give a damn about the local governments.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been in local government.
Said local governments like
let
three
me
times.
just be as specific as I can about this. Oh boy, howdy, I almost said it. I do not give two cares about the local governments. I'm so sick of hearing about libraries, and I'm so sick of hearing about schools, and I'm so sick of hearing about towns, and I'm so sick of hearing about cities. I've been in local government. I know how wasteful it is. I know the crap these people pull. I don't care at all about you people. I have been suffering for years. Casey has been suffering for years. Homeowners have been suffering for years. You know who I care about? The homeowners. Mm-hmm. The homeowners. I don't give a damn about our quote-unquote business climate. You know who always gets the stuff? The business people. You know who doesn't get anything? Me. Us. That's who I care about. JD, call the show. I'm not talking to you offline. Call the show. I'm sure you have the hotline number. If you don't, 239-9393. 239-9393, JD. You know how to, but you know the hotline number. Call the show.
It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Life moves fast.
Another new directive from Donald Trump.
President Trump will not be deterred to make our federal government more efficient.
So does the news.
We expect those meetings to take place very soon.
Decisions made today.
I'm not a big fan of the Atlantic.
No threats to national security.
Could impact you tomorrow.
Accountability and transparency.
What's next?
You never know what's going to happen.
Need to know what happened.
We're already tracking it. Stay in the know while you're on the go on 93 WIBC.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-687-7979. That's 800-687-7979. 800-687-7979.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I'm here with Michaela to talk about water damage. Water damage at your home or business can come from heavy rains, broken or frozen pipes, and countless other ways. Michaela, if someone has a loss due to water, why should they call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local, family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. We are manning the phones and ready to help 24/7, 365. Michaelis specializes in water damage restoration, is IICRC certified, and will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I know a big part of getting back to normal is dealing with the insurance company. Can Michaelis help there?
Yes, Michaelis works through the entire process on your behalf to make it easy and give you peace of mind.
If you have water damage, call the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and mold, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
You ready to build your custom dream home? Check out Joyner Homes based out of Greenfield. See one of their model homes in person anytime. It is a great way for you to experience the customization and quality of a Joyner Homes custom built home. Plus, you can meet with a new home specialist to learn about their building process. Available lots if you don't already have one. Find out about floor plans and where they build. Model homes are open 7 days a week from noon to 5 and walk-ins are welcome. Find out more at joynerhomes.com.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
I don't know, Rob, what is going on?
What is even going on?
Is this Bizarro World?
Like what? You heard that, right? I'm not in some sort of fever dream, right?
No, that was real. This is real life. This is really happening to you.
Okay, so last segment, we were saying, why is J.D. Prescott, state rep, calling me on the air during the show? He's been on the show a million times. He knows.
Mm-hmm.
I will text you during the show.
Mm-hmm. And you've expressed your disappointment in him for voting on that property tax plan, which will now go to the House floor.
Yes, and my look, I know all those people are going to screw me. I'm not surprised by that. What I'm pissed off about is that unlike the rest of those clowns,
mm-hmm.
he came to our rally,
yeah,
told us he was going to support us. He came on this show a bunch of times and said he was going to support us.
Yeah.
And then he votes for
that plan.
This bill.
Yeah.
Right. And so my phone is ringing like while I'm on the air. And I'm like, why would he be calling me? And then so he said, well, call the show. Right. I'm not going to what do I need to tell you? You know how I feel. I just expressed it. What am I going to do? Say something different to your face that I just said to tens of thousands of people?
Which is really surprising because JD is the one who's like, I want to get rid of property taxes altogether.
Right. So I'm like, all right, I gotta go listen to this voicemail or whatever during the break.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even him.
It was somebody else on his behalf.
Some guy claiming to be State Representative Jack Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a made-up name, but then I looked him up, and he's a real guy.
Where's he from?
District 17. Now, this house map, trying to sort through all of this. I'm trying to find out where District 17 even is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like some, like spokesperson. Hello, this is Representative Jack Jordan calling on behalf of State Representative J.D. Prescott.
Mm-hmm.
What is going? You should know that no one is fighting harder in this. Like it was, those auto robo dials you get during an election.
Yeah.
Hello. You should know that no one is working harder than J.D. Prescott. Except this is like a real guy.
So District 17 is like Wabash area. It's west of Fort Wayne.
What is going on here? He's calling from some other guy's cell phone?
Mm-hmm.
Hello. You should know that no one is working harder for property tax.
Did the caller ID come up as J.D.
Yes,
Prescott?
it's his phone. He admitted it was his phone. He had your phone number, so I'm calling from his phone.
Okay, so
Can I play this on the air?
No. Is it? How does it make you feel to know that they're talking about you right now? I mean, this was a conversation that, what's his name?
Jack Jordan, or someone assuming the name of State Representative Jack Jordan. Look, Jack, if someone has assumed your identity,
blink twice.
If you
Okay, so Jack Jordan and JD are having a conversation, and Jack says, "Just give me your phone. I'm going to call him right now." That made me mad.
I mean, you
JD
heard.
said, "Okay, here it is," and so he called. Rob Kendall, you should know nobody has been a bigger advocate for property tax relief than J.D. Prescott. He had to get it out, and he did. He left you that message, and now you know.
So, like he couldn't just call me himself?
He didn't have your number.
No. I'm saying
JD couldn't call you himself.
Like they're sitting around and going, "Hey, Jack, you call him and tell him."
I don't think they were doing that.
Well, clearly they must have been talking about it.
Well, yes, they were, and I think Jack just said, you got his number? I'm calling him. Give me your phone.
He's pissed off at me. Can you call him and tell him?
No, I don't think
Talk some sense into it.
I don't think that's how that happened at all.
I mean, you heard the voicemail. Hello, this is Representative Jack Jordan. Nobody has been working in the State House for property tax relief harder than J.D. And then it got
He
into
did have a nice voice.
It was very
like
nice.
a radio
to be a
voice.
broadcaster.
Right.
Hey, you want to switch spots, Jack?
Can we do that?
For a day?
Can you be Jack Jordan
I'll vote
for a
on
day?
behalf of Jack Jordan.
Right.
He can do the radio show on behalf of me.
Okay.
Let's see how that goes. And then it was something about, we're working on a glide path.
What is that?
It's getting no, I can't say that. I was going to say the only thing that was, never mind.
Don't say it. Don't go there.
No, you need me here.
What's a glide path? What do they mean by that?
This is their wordology that Houston keeps using.
Mhm.
I think it's Houston, about how they're going to make everybody happy. And I keep hearing how we're going to make everybody happy, and everybody gets happy but us. Now the business owners will be really happy. Hey, the schools will be really happy.
Local governments will be so happy.
The only people that is in every bill other than the bronze bill, the original bill, we were happy.
Right.
Like, we were very happy.
Yeah.
It's the most government thing ever. Like, you're going to need this. No, I'm really not. I'm happy with this thing right here. This looks very good. I'll just have that. Thank you.
Are we on? It's double secret probation.
Hello, this is Representative Jack Jordan.
You don't know. It's a big secret, the glide path.
You've never heard of me, but now you're really going to change your deeply held belief because I'm calling you.
Mm-hmm.
What? This is my life.
You have no conviction, but with one phone call from me, I'll change your mind.
People are always like, what a cool life Rob has. And I'm like, no, you don't see half of this stuff. Like I told you, the thing with bronze people, they were irate over that we said the helipad was 118 grand.
You got the numbers wrong.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, state police said it was 118 grand. Well, the total cost was 118 grand, but that's for everything, not just the helipad.
The helipad itself wasn't.
No. You're not understanding. I'm pissed that I already pay for you to have a house, a really nice house. I will never live in a house that nice. It's right there.
You're talking about the mansion?
Yes, Meridian.
Yeah.
I spend how much?
Did they pay property taxes on that?
Between Holcomb and Pence, how much did we spend revamping the governor's mansion? I've done my part for your living arrangement. You're a gajillionaire, Braun. Like, I don't need to pay for your other house. I don't care whether it's for electric or fencing or a helipad or a doggy door. I don't care. I am the Michael Douglas character now in what is it? What's the Falling Down?
Mm-hmm.
That is, I am this close. Can you hear it in my voice?
Oh, I can hear it in your voice.
Like, I get barraged with text messages after the show.
No, not just text messages, phone calls.
You saw them, though.
From Jack Jordan.
You saw the message from bronze people, right? I'm not making this up.
He sounded like a superhero.
Let's go back to the messages from bronze people, though.
Right?
You saw it.
I did see it. I did an off-air dramatic reading of that.
When I want to get an update on the property tax thing, it's like 9 hours later, I'll get a 3-word response.
Maybe we'll get back to you.
This was like...
instant.
And you saw it. It was text after text after text. This is the world I live in.
Hey, we have to tell everybody about the thing that we're doing, the front porch Patriots.
Hello, this is Representative Jack Jordan. No one is working harder in the State House than J.D. Prescott.
Like, you're going to believe him. He did have a nice voice.
Hello.
You don't know me. We're complete strangers, but you should believe every word I say.
Oh my gosh, you people are just the worst. All right, break, and then we'll talk about the Front Porch Patriots thing.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He thinks this might be music to your ears. I'm Chan Herrick. This report is brought to you by Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 11:30. If you're tired of all the rain Indiana's been getting lately, Cody Moore with the National Weather Service says there is light at the end of the tunnel.
After we get through this next little stretch of wet weather, we look pretty dry going into next week.
In the meantime, he says you might have to contend with rain and storms both Wednesday and Thursday. After 3 straight sessions of major volatility over President Trump's tariffs that were announced, stocks are rising on Wall Street this morning. And the band? Welcome to the Hotel California. The Eagles are adding what they're calling their final 8 dates of the year at the Las Vegas Sphere. Those start October 3rd and they run through November 8th. The Eagles have sold more than 200 million records worldwide. I'm Chan Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Indiana patients rely on many types of pharmacies to access their medications and critical healthcare services. But a proposal being considered in the Indiana legislature called SB 140 would disrupt access to medications for Indiana patients. SB 140 would impose government mandates blocking access to critical pharmacy options and services in Indiana. Lost access to pharmacy options would directly harm many of Indiana's most vulnerable patients, including patients fighting cancer and heart disease, many of whom rely on specialty pharmacies for their care. SB 140 would even hike costs for Indiana patients by imposing a $10 tax on every prescription filled in the state. That would often fall directly on the patient. Tell your state legislator, protect access to medications, reject higher costs. Put Indiana patients first by voting no on SB 140, paid for by conservatives for lower healthcare costs.
You're listening to 93 WIBC. I'm Matt Bear. I'm excited to have a special guest joining us, Jeff Jr., the founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth.
What's up, Matt?
I hear your connection to Indiana runs pretty deep. Tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. My wife used to live in Indiana, and my father and mother-in-law, they actually live in Kokomo. And my brother-in-law, he lives in Franklin. With so much family here, it was only natural to bring Trajan Wealth to greater Indiana and help all the Hoosiers plan for a better financial future.
I also know you and your wife served our country in the Marine Corps. Would you say the Marine Corps helped with the financial business you're in?
Unequivocally, yes. I completely credit the Marine Corps with most all of the intangible qualities, such as leadership, attitude, willingness to learn.
Trajan Wealth is a family-run, veteran-owned financial fiduciary. Call them today, 317-480-4040, 317-480-4040.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse is now open and ready to serve you. Whether you're buying jewelry or selling jewelry, PA Jewelers has got you covered. One-of-a-kind pieces, vintage pieces. Make an appointment, sit down with them in the buy room, and find out how you can get that special piece made just for you. Easy to get to in Brownsburg. See everything they have to offer in a no-pressure environment. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse, now open in Brownsburg. 317-456-4010. That's 456-4010. Or online at pajewelers.jewelry. pajewelers.jewelry.
Harbor Freight knows time is money, so for our Spring Black Friday sale, we're getting straight to the deals. This weekend, you get 35% off jack stands, 56-inch roll cabs under $800, and 2,300 PSI electric pressure washers under $190. See? Straight to the point, so you can get straight to the savings. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. Valid until April 13th, 2025 while supplies last. Limitations apply.
I'm a proud owner of B Window.
I'm a proud B Window owner.
I'm a proud B Window owner.
When you work with a local, employee-owned home improvement company like B Window, quality comes first because your home improvements are a reflection of our business. And for a limited time, we're extending our employee discount to you, up to 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust local, trust employee-owned, trust your home to be.
Trust me.
What if the next time you painted your home was the last time you painted your home?
Our home has had Rhino Shield for 10 years.
Rhino Shield. Call 888-RHINO-41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Okay.
The whole voicemail was even more funny. I finally listened to the whole thing.
You got a chance to listen to the whole thing, didn't you?
You ever have... Okay, so if you missed the last segment, some state rep by the name of Jack Jordan, who I wouldn't have known Jack Jordan from Jack Be Nimble.
District 17, I incorrectly said it was Wabash. It's actually just west of Warsaw. It's like Plymouth, Bremen, Fulton County, just south of La Paz.
Well, based on that voicemail, the people of Wabash caught a huge break then, if they are not indeed represented by Jack Jordan. Okay, so did you ever have a friend who you knew just couldn't do it on their own? Like they just weren't capable of. Kev, you ever have a friend who you're like, there's some decent qualities to this person, but they're never going to be able to talk themselves into a meaningful relationship, and you've got to like sell your friend to some single guy, like Sherry's a little shy and she's kind of weird, but
there's some good qualities.
She's really nice, and you should give her an opportunity.
She's super loyal,
right? And then just over and over and over again, you take whatever the thing is. She's super nice, and then 2 seconds later, you're like, and Sherry's got a lovely dog, and she's super nice, and Sherry is she volunteers with the local soup kitchen, and she's super nice. And just you have one thing you're going to hang your hat on.
That you go back to.
Right. That was that phone call.
That's what Jack Jordan said
How many
about
times?
J.D. Prescott.
Yes, JD's on a glide path. I don't even know what that is for property tax reform.
It's like a slip and slide because it
don't
sounds
know.
kind of fun.
I still don't know what the glide path actually is. But he's the most. What was the phrase he kept using?
Relentless.
He's relentless. Yes. He is relentless. He's like what's he say in Anchorman? Like a mongoose. Or no, that was what Anthony Weiner said. When he's talking, I'm fit like a mongoose or something.
He's relentless.
He's relentless.
On a glide path.
He kept saying the same thing.
He's relentlessly on that glide path.
Well, he relentlessly screwed millions of people yesterday voting for that House property tax bill.
Rob, you should know.
You know who he is? It just dawned on me. I'm going to play this for you when we get off the air. He's Lumberg from Office Space. That's exactly what his voice sounded like.
You think so?
I wish I could play it on the air. What's the rules?
Gonna need those TPS reports. You should know that he
does, doesn't he? Tell me now that when you hear Lumberg from the boss.
I'm gonna need those reports.
Relentless.
He's relentless.
Hello, this is Representative Jack Jordan.
No, it was representative.
Yeah, his voice sounded better the first time I heard it. Anyway, so that's my life, and this is what I deal with every single day. And that means, so think about this. You have 2 state reps sitting around in an office. You're getting, millions of people are getting screwed. They know you're getting screwed. And their conversation is, hey, can you call the radio guy? He's pissed off at me.
Tell him I'm relentless.
No.
Tell him I'm relentless.
He's been pissed at me before and it didn't go well. Jack. It's not like it'd been one thing if it was like, hello, this is Speaker of the House, Todd Houston. I hate you and you hate me. But J.D. Prescott is relentless.
He's relentless.
It's not like it was Rod Bray. It was the governor.
It was Jack Jordan.
It was Jack Jordan.
Jack Jordan getting some airtime today. Congratulations, Jack. You made it to the show.
Thankfully for the people of Wabash, he is not their representative.
So somebody tagged us on X and they said, J.D. Prescott, please call before the show ends at noon. I can't end my lunch like this.
So we need to invite Jack on. Kev or Casey, why don't you send an email? I want to have Jack Jordan on to talk about J.D. Prescott's relentlessness on property taxes. So that's your job. I'm putting
you want me to reach out to Jack?
Let him know we want to, and that is specifically what we want to talk about, J.D. Prescott's relentlessness on property taxes.
But he has been kind of relentless up until yesterday.
When he finally had to vote.
Right. Up until the moment.
That's like
the moment that it counts.
He was a great husband until he got propositioned by another woman, but he was awesome until he finally had to do something. Like what?
What are we doing?
We are doing something on Monday.
What are we doing? Oh, right. I would say, what are we doing on Monday? But you're right. We really are doing something on Monday.
We're speaking to our friends at the Front Porch Patriots. Now, these people are awesome. We've spoken to them before. There are these gorgeous homes on Meridian Street, really right next to Braun's house he's not using.
Yeah.
Maybe we could see if we could get an evening in the governor's mansion, since we had to spend $118,000 on Braun's current home in Jasper because he doesn't want to be at the. I should have booked my speaking engagement around when Braun would not be at the governor's mansion.
No, I think it's better if he was there so we can have.
We could be house guests.
Well,
we
can ask him what his plan is. Are you vetoing? But you vetoing today? What are we doing?
Okay, so these people have these gorgeous homes, and once a month they invite some person of note to come speak to their patriot-minded individuals.
Yeah.
And they asked me, and I said, well, only go if Casey can go. And they said, well, that's why we asked you.
Well, I can't let you go by yourself.
Well, they said we really wanted Casey, and we were too timid to ask Casey.
Sure.
Because we've heard she's relentless as a speaker.
It's true.
And I said, okay, well, I will ask Casey. So next Monday, we're the featured act.
Are we?
Yeah, Carlin Yoder's our warm-up act.
He's going to be a warm-up?
And the next month is Braun.
We're the headliners? Oh, really?
That's right.
Notice they didn't put us on the same day as Braun.
He probably refused. No, I also refused to not be the headliner. And they really wanted us because they gave me 2 dates, and I originally said, no, I can't do those. And they kept moving the date. So they really want us. So don't embarrass me.
Come on. Monday, April 14th at 6:30. is when we're doing this.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, it's kind of like a private club thing, but we wanted to point out they have a lot of their people are really pissed about the property tax thing, and that's why they're bringing us in to do the speaking.
So Carlin Yoder, he's going to speak about his potential run against Todd Young.
Yeah, and I look.
Is he still doing his exploratory committee?
Well, I feel bad for Carlin because I know that they're counting on me to support him. I think I'm done like publicly endorsing people,
supporting people
every time I get screwed, and you can blame J.D. Prescott. You can blame Micah and J.D. Prescott.
Don't do that.
Because every single person, when they want my support, like they tell me all the right things, and then it's just.
And then they turn around and.
So I'm out. I'm James Earl Jones in Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
My goal is to now be left alone, other than by our listeners.
Yeah. What do you want?
I had to be left alone, other than between 9 and noon.
What do you want?
Yeah, that's right.
Beer and a dog?
Is this real life?
It is.
Hey, call Kendall. He's really upset, and you know how he gets.
I don't know if you know, Rob, but JD's relentless.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. So if you could be here around 9.
Tell me that was not that voicemail.
That was it. That was
What are we doing next?
It's so good. I want to talk about the videos that your wife watches.
Oh, yeah.
They're family friendly.
Yeah.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Yeah.
And what it's doing to your nighttime sleep.
You're fascinated. You were blown away by this.
I can't believe what she watches. I mean, it's interesting.
Think about the things she would rather
She's
do
so
than
smart.
Well,
like incredibly smart.
But think about the things she would rather do than have a meaningful conversation with me.
With you. You just have to be relentless. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. Jeff Boggs, not Kenny Rogers, will join us, and a lot of laughs. 93 WIBC.
Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. Who are they? Well, they're a sister company of Rhino Shield, and Premier Deck Coating is the product you need if you're tired of applying the same old stain and paint every couple of years to your deck. It's Terry, Stacy, and David and I have a deck that's probably 25 years old. The countless hours and the money that we spend on maintaining that deck never ends. And then we heard about Premier Deck Coating. Family owned, based right here in Indy, and they are going to completely transform our deck with their special formulated product, which repels moisture, scratch resistant in virtually any color that we want, and backed by a 10-year guarantee. No more spending time staining or painting every year. Premier Deck Coating will keep our deck looking great for years to come. Premier Deck Coating can also do fences and pergolas too. For a free quote, call 317-696-4071 or visit premierdeckcoating.com.
If you have a snoring problem or sleep apnea, odds are you have blockage in both your throat and your nose. Now, for those who've gone elsewhere and wonder why their issues aren't getting better, this is where the problem lies. Because the true root of your problem very well may be your nose. We believe we'll find that your nose isn't working the way it should. And once we do get your nose working, your CPAP mask can finally work, or you can lose that CPAP mask altogether. I'm Dr. Mothan Kandula with Advent, where we offer every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution available, including simple in-office procedures that can get your nose and your throat working properly. It's a simple concept. If you're going to get your best sleep, you have to be able to breathe well.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
WindowNation.com, that's where you go to replace your cold, drafty windows with energy-efficient ones from Window Nation like I did. I love my Window Nation windows. I've saved a ton on energy bills. And your new windows can be installed in 1 day or less.
Go big or go home. And that's what they're doing at Window Nation. Right now, get four windows for free with every 4 that you buy. And there's no limit. The more you buy, the more free ones you get. 0 interest, 0 payments for 2 years. You don't pay anything until 2027, and you get 4 windows for free when you buy 4. And on top of that, get a free entry door when you buy a house full of windows. This deal is not going to be around forever, so you got to hustle. 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Beds are us when dreams don't get in. Beds are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
Beds are us when dreams don't get in. Beds are us.
The lead is back to 12. Now McConnell steals the inbound, count it, and put Neesmith on the line with a chance for a three-point play. Do they not, New York Knicks? Have cable TV where you live. This is what T.J. McConnell does.
The action is heating up as your Pacers prepare for the NBA playoffs. The Pacers are down to their last 3 regular season home games when they host the Washington Wizards Tuesday at 7. Get your tickets at Pacers.com. Pacers Wizards, Tuesday at 7.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
If you're pressed for time, the WIBC Mashup Podcast is your shortcut to the smartest, sharpest, and strangest moments on air. It's the best content from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Updated daily. Find the WIBC Mashup wherever you get your podcasts.
Man came by to hook up my cable TV. We settled in for the night, my baby and me. We switched round and round till half past dawn. There was 57 channels and nothing.
Casey, get off your phone.
I can't help it. There's information there. You know what's interesting? The other night when we were hanging out, your wife was talking about the different videos and entertainment that she watches before bedtime, which is completely opposite of what I would watch. I like to watch something light, typically something to kind of take any pressure off, wind down the day, right? She's into some real cerebral stuff, which would just get my wheels spinning even more.
Okay, so real quick, I want to tell this story. So your husband, Jim, is there,
Mhm.
and he looks at Gabrielle and he goes, so Gabrielle, like on a scale of 0 to 10,
Yeah.
how much interest do you have in this basketball game right now?
Right.
And she just looks at him like
0.
0.
None.
And I'm doing the sign here like the
cut it,
Vince
cut it,
McMahon,
cut
yeah.
it, end the conversation.
And then he goes, well, okay, like the Masters, because your husband, it's like his
Mhm.
favorite week of the year. On a scale of 1 to 10, like what would be your interest in the Masters next week? 0.
0.
And I finally looked at Jim and I was like, Jim, Gabrielle's gift is that she doesn't give a crap what I do.
Right.
I don't need nor want her involved in my world.
Right.
Right. My wife is a blessing where she's like,
You do you and I'll do me.
I don't need your attention. I get this is important to you. You leave me alone
Right.
and I'll leave you alone.
But she spends her time watching some really interesting videos, and I thought,
Well, just tell everybody what it is. My wife.
it's like wow.
My wife is the perfect woman for me. She's young. She's beautiful. She requires minimal attention. And
She's very smart.
And she is super smart. And so her hobby right now is that she watches these videos about, I don't even know how to describe them.
Structural engineering videos.
Disasters.
She'll watch body cam videos.
So my wife is into like, what was the Titanic thing that sank?
The Titan.
The Titan.
The submersible.
She knows everything.
It imploded, Rob. It didn't explode.
And and like she was on her 9th video about this, and I finally just looked at her, and this was like at 2 a.m, and I looked at her and said, it always ends the same way.
Yeah. There's nothing new. We don't have new information. But she's really into the science of things. And she'll watch videos on chemical reactions for fun.
And then she'll sit there and go, I'm really having trouble sleeping.
Exactly.
Why do you think that is, lady?
Well, because screen time in bed raises your insomnia risk by 59% per
hour. This is a new study that was done, and they say that it's regardless of the screen type that you do, whether it's video or social media or internet surfing. It doesn't matter. You have that blue screen in front of you. It's going to increase your insomnia. And I think, I try to watch something light to kind of calm me down at the end of the day. Something entertaining.
Do you fall asleep with it on, or do you stop it and go to bed?
No, I turn off, like if it's the TV, I will definitely turn it off and turn the white noise machine on. And there have been times when I've started to fall asleep with my phone in my hand, and then I'm like, oh, I got to put that down. But this is really, really bad for our health, Rob.
Oh, is it?
We should not be doing this. Everybody's saying, oh, you got to exercise and watch what you eat and be active.
Yeah.
One of the most overlooked areas of health is your sleep health and how you prepare for bed. And all the studies say you need to take an hour before bed. And all that hour is supposed to be is preparation for sleep.
Oh.
Get the temperature right, get the lighting right, get the mood right, and turn off all the screens. Yeah. All of them.
I'm screwed. Because here's the problem.
Yeah.
So I obviously lived many, many years. I've never had a roommate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I've had opposite sex roommates.
Okay.
Would
you like to say more words?
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I mean, I've never had a roommate in a sense, like, I've never lived in a house and like a dude was like, we were splitting a house together.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
Somebody who was not, I've never had somebody live with me who was not working off the rent.
Gotcha.
And so as such, like when you live alone, I always had a TV on because I needed like noise.
You want the company or the companionship.
Right. Yeah, it was just something to fall asleep to. Well, then you get in the habit of you have to have that.
Right.
And so now I've really had to work to fall asleep without something.
Without the screen.
On.
Yeah.
And I'm failing miserably.
Well, and especially when someone's laying in bed next to you with a screen on.
That's right. And so she will fall asleep before me. So then the challenge becomes, because inevitably she's always laying on her phone, I got to get around her to get to the phone, to hit the button, the pause button on the phone so the thing will stop playing. That's I'm like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible each night.
Sure, you're doing some aerobics there or some acrobatic moves to get that phone. You need to maybe, I don't know, set some boundaries, like turn off the screen time before you fall asleep.
Why didn't you tell her this the other night? You were right there. Really?
I didn't have the study in front of me, and I break this rule myself. Like, what? I'm going to throw stones?
Do you fall asleep first in your home, or is it Jim?
Oh, my gosh. It's Jim.
He falls asleep first?
Oh, in a matter of minutes.
That's what?
Within 7 minutes every night. Within 7 minutes, guaranteed.
This is crazy to me because is, whatever. Obviously, he has a new kind of main job now, but he was a business owner. And usually business owners.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, usually those people. Yeah. This is the way I was for years. And this is another thing I've had to overcome. I used to stay up till 3 a.m. because I could wake up at noon.
Yeah.
And you had work to get done. You had clients to appease. And I worked a job when I owned my sports streaming company where a lot of that stuff was at night anyway. Get it all done, be done, and then you have the day to yourself. And so I'm surprised with that because he's a business owner. He's super into his side, what would be his side hustle now.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that he falls asleep so fast.
Well, he gets up really early.
Yeah.
And he works, and then he works, and then he works.
Yeah.
He's a working man.
Working for the state will destroy your soul. I know from experience.
Pray for him. He's going through it right now. But no, he works a lot. So the second his head hits the pillow, he's out. And,
Has that made your existence better?
Well, I don't know. I don't know that he's working at the State House.
Yeah. Well, I mean that he goes to bed quicker.
I just know that he's going to fall asleep easy. I, on the other hand, don't require as much sleep.
Yeah.
So I can be up till midnight, 1, 2, sometimes 3 in the morning.
Well, then I'll be sure to message you.
Tossing and turning, wishing I could fall asleep, looking at the clock, knowing that the alarm is going off in 3 hours.
Hey, you up?
If you send me a "Hey, you up" text, you might receive some weird pictures back.
We have to go home.
All right. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Kevin. And thank you for listening today. This has been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Get your new garage floor with Comer & Cross. Tony Katz here. And if your garage floor looks lousy, it's got cracks or stains, or if it has a bad epoxy job, or if your patio looks lousy as well, today is the day to call Comer & Cross for your quick and easy estimate. At 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, we're talking about a Midwest company now here in Indianapolis. And when you have a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor, it's like pulling into a new car showroom every night. These guys are the gold standard. Comer & Cross. It's guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint. And the secret is the process. And their process means you're going to have a quality floor that lasts for years to come. They fix all your cracks and pits perfectly and apply your custom floor in 6 stages. And they're all certified employee pros. No freelancers at Comer & Cross. For your quick and easy Comer & Cross estimate on a new garage floor, patio, or basement this spring, call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or go to ComerCross.com. C-O-M-E-R. ComerCross.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today. Today.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-687-7979. That's 800-687-7979. 800-687-7979.
The Builders Association of Greater Indianapolis's Parade of Homes is coming up April 25th through the 27th and May 2nd through the 4th, featuring Indy's top builders. Custom home builder Joyner Homes will have both of their Greenfield model homes featured on the tour, giving you the opportunity to meet their new home specialists, find out about floor plans, pricing, and available lots. JoynerHomes.com for more info and reserve your ticket to receive a free all-access pass for the Parade of Homes at BAGI.com.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shady.